think it's turning live. We're only 5 minutes late, and it's our first one. I feel like this is a victory. I think it's
5 minutes late, my husband basically cut his finger off. We're fine.
only 5 minutes late.
Hey,
We're live. I feel like this is a victory.
Wait, am I hearing us in both places here?
We are. I'm gonna have to mute my there we go. We're live. I hope you all are here. We are. I'm gonna put some people on.
That's funny.
I know I
I'm
have
like
people
looking
to
at
approve
myself,
on
looking
Zoom
at
here.
myself.
All right, so for those of you who are getting admitted on Zoom, we are going to keep you on mute, please, for a little bit, and we're going to have a Q&A like chat session in a bit. Hi, Gwendolyn. What we would like to do eventually is have like some guests and stuff. But we're working on that. I really should have had 2 screens.
We're gonna figure it out.
We will. We're going to work through it. We'll figure it out. Okay.
Hey, it's Gwendolyn. I know Gwen.
Hey, is anybody else wanting to join the meeting? I can't 100% tell. But we have people who are seeing us. Hello. Sharon, Joyce, LQ3.
Oh my gosh, they're people.
Susan, Rita Brennan. I know Rita Brennan. That is mother-in-law to Stephanie Brennan. Cynthia, Annette, Tiffany. Crazy. You're going to be our kind of quilter. Diana and Angela Wilson. Angela's my daughter's name. Awesome. All right. So I'm going to try to keep an eye on the chat in both places. And also, this is going to be a challenge. But it looks like
we have challenges with the basic things. So
I need another screen is what I need. I think that would make my life a little easier. We had intended to have another screen, but I couldn't figure out how to connect my headphones to either thing at the moment. So sorry. Hopefully we'll have better audio in the future. Oh gosh, we're looking for
Wait, so you didn't get your headphones connected at all?
No, I still can't figure that out. I worked last time and then I disconnected the Bluetooth to try to connect it to my phone. And now they don't want to play nice with the computer. So now you're probably going to hear things like the HVAC that just came on.
Or your kids coming downstairs like,
oh yeah, my husband is in charge of bedtime, as your husband is in charge of bedtime. And yeah, they're still very wide awake. Chat and watch in 2 places. Only a woman can do that. That is 100% accurate. Yes.
We should also let everybody know that they are welcome to hop onto the Zoom link if you want to be seen or sew with us or whatever. No biggie.
We're gonna like open it up for chit chat eventually. I thought first Chantel and I might tell you guys how we met. I was actually thinking it was 20 years ago, but then I remembered I was 20 when I pledged. So it's actually 19 years ago, I think this month. When pledging started.
I don't even like thinking
we're getting old. We don't want to think about it, but I think that's accurate.
It burns a bit. So I'm not sure what's going on. I think I'm trying to get like the YouTube part to work appropriately so that I can see what's going on in that. And it's kind of like frozen and behind for me. So I'm not going to see that portion.
There is a delay on the YouTube portion. So anybody watching this, there's like a 60-second delay.
So if we have a Janet Jackson moment, we can fix it.
I'm not planning on having it. Oh.
To be fair, I am dressed comfortably, but yeah, no Janet Jackson moments.
Don't do it. My bra came off a while ago. Oh, I think I can connect now.
You figure it out?
Can you hear me?
I can.
Ah, fabulous. Okay. Is the audio better, folks listening?
The audio is better for me. I don't know if it's better for anybody else, but it will be good when you actually start sewing in the hopes that we're not hearing a whole
You
bunch of
know,
like
I'm
backfeed.
doing English paper piecing today.
Are you really?
Yes, I'm working on Tulanova. We did discuss this earlier in the week.
Oh, there goes the drink. Already gone.
My Tulanova is
Oh, no.
still in the box.
I have
You
the
know,
original, but
I
this
have-
is only as far as I've got.
I'm gonna have to go get my starch towel because my drink
You
already
spilled your
spilled.
beverage everywhere.
Yes,
I don't remember what
because
I
when
bought, but it
when
was
I
like-
brought all my paper piecing stuff downstairs, my husband put it on my drink area,
Oh no.
and so now
This
we
is
gotta find a
challenging.
towel. Where's the
So
towel?
we
Welcome to our party, guys.
this is kind of how we roll. We
This
kind of
is
go on
pretty basic.
tangents, a lot of tangents.
Yes.
That's pretty much
Wait,
par for the
where's your
course for us.
wine?
I have gin and tonic. I can no longer drink wine. It doesn't end well for me. So there's a couple of hard alcohols that I can do and some beers. I nursed my youngest daughter for a very, very long time.
Forever.
And it just like changed a lot of things. You have a Tulanova too, Phil. That's awesome. How far are you
Yeah.
on yours? We have so many people from all over the place. This
I
is really cool.
was getting mine out actually when you
Oh,
said that,
you're
and that's
doing- is
why
that
I
Daydreamer?
spilled this drink. So
I think
got
your
my
audio
center.
went, Chantel.
See, now I'm gonna
Oh,
have to
I
dig
can't hear
mine
you.
out of storage. It's been in storage
Oh,
for
we're
years.
gonna add someone else to the waiting room. So there is a Zoom link and maybe I can copy it. I'll put it in the chat on YouTube. Let's do that. So what we want to do is kind of do this like every Friday. And just like, hang out together and have some fun. Watch how nutso Chantel and I get together. And it should be a good time. We want to have some guests. We do not have one today. But I do
We'll
know
get
a lot
there.
of folks in the industry. So we should be able to do that eventually. Why
So-
can I not find the link?
is my
I
audio
wonder if it's
working
still
yet?
pasted.
No.
Here we go. There's a Zoom link in the chat if anybody would like to join us over there as well. And then I think you hear it in real time. All right, Chantel,
Is-
can I hear you now?
Is my no? It is. Is my audio
Technology
working?
is great when it works.
It's not working, is it?
I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear
You might have to just disconnect your headphones.
I can hear you,
So
Chantal.
I'll tell the story while Chantel figures out some technical difficulties. So we met when we were pledging our sorority, which is not a national sorority. They all do their own thing at Augustana College. And can you hear me now, Chantel? Can
But
I hear
can you
you?
hear me? Can you
No,
hear
I
me?
cannot hear you. You got to mess
Maybe
with
I-
your speaker too. Your hearing and your speaker. We did test this.
We really did.
I know Stephanie Brandenburg does need to come on here for sure. But ooh, we have two people in the waiting room. So one of the very first pledging activities they gave us as kind of like a get to know you thing was to blindfold us and have us figure out how to line up in height order. And we were like on a hill. This was not like an easy
It's not
thing to do.
good. Can
And
you hear me
Chantel and I
now?
are both very short. I still can't hear you, honey.
Did you mute me?
Can anyone else
Yeah.
hear Chantel?
Can anyone
Joe,
hear
you're
me?
hearing
I can
Chantel?
hear people.
Yeah.
I can hear you.
I wonder if it's me. It might be me. Let's
It's
see.
you. You're the problem.
No.
Can you hear yourself?
Technology is great when it works, right? Yes, we're both
Can
on
you hear
Zoom.
yourself?
Can you
hear
guys hear
yourself?
me?
Yes, I can hear all of you. Can you hear me?
I wonder if my
I can hear you.
headset's
I can hear you.
on.
Stephanie, can you hear me?
Oh, dang it.
What did
Okay,
you
can
do?
you hear me?
Let me just go back to the
Yes.
micro- back.
Yeah.
Okay, you can hear me.
I can hear Gwendolyn.
Okay. I
All
can
right,
hear
hang on.
all of
I'm
you.
trying to change my settings. It's syncing.
So I don't know if you muted me, maybe. I have no idea. This
You're
is-
lost.
Alrighty.
So
this-
Are you
pretty much
lost?
every week we try to make a call to each other and do some sewing and hide from people. And it never works well for just us either.
I know.
So
Okay.
we're
Well,
not
here we
really
go.
shocked.
We're on now. But anyway,
But it's
so
good that you guys
Chantel,
have kept in touch all these years.
well, it's been
What?
kind of off and on, but way more on in the last year or so. Chantel's like my biggest fan. So
I am.
and you live a lot closer now. So that
Yes.
is we can actually go hang out sometimes.
That's good.
It's like a 90-minute drive.
Oh.
So it's
Oh.
you
But
got
with
plenty of
kids,
Hour
it's like,
drive.
yeah, it's like an hour and a half, maybe. We're in Illinois,
Hour-
so miles are minutes.
Illinois? Where in Illinois?
I'm
I'm
in
in the
Peoria
Quad-
area.
Yeah, so she's dead center and I'm on the river
Oh.
on the Quad
She
Cities.
never left college.
I'm kidding. I meant to. It didn't happen.
That too?
Well, so I got a job at the Quad City Times. I want to be a journalist out of school, and I took all kinds of internships. Actually, that's where my video editing training came from. I learned how to do it on tape to tape, where you literally had to like rewind it with your hand to get the right
Oh,
slot of
the
you.
old-fashioned way?
Oh, yes. And then I had classes in college on an actual computer editing system, which
Did
I
you
thought was
really? I didn't know they had classes for that.
I did. Wendy Hilton Morrow taught them. She was
Really?
a
She was my
broadcast
advisor.
journalist at some
I don't
point.
know how I ended up with her as my advisor, but I was not a communications person, but there you
Yeah.
go.
But anyway, so I meant to get there. It's a top 100 market. And so it's a really cool thing to like get in for your first job out of college. And at the time, at the paper I got at, it was right before like the downfall of print journalism. And so to get in your first job out of college there was like unheard of. And I was really excited to get in because I'd had a lot of great internships in school. And then met my husband, and it was at the 2009 economic crisis. So we were happy to just have jobs. And the idea of you used to be able to move like with a spouse because the jobs were so plentiful in print journalism, but that was like done for after 2009. So, we both ended up changing careers eventually. And he worked with me for a long time in the business, but it's home now. I've been here half my life. But no, I was never meant to stay. I meant to be there like a year and then peace out. But then I met my love, who now annoys me a lot, but that's what
Yeah,
happened,
well,
right?
Mine too.
Chantel
That's-
texted me. She's like, my husband cut himself probably to the bone. So I'm gonna be a
He
little
really
like,
did. So I was supposed to be down here like sound checking and all of this. And I'm like, yeah, John just cut himself. Clearly he doesn't want to put the kids to bed. But it actually was pretty gnarly cut, but he thinks he's fine.
well, he's a doctor, of course he thinks it's
He thinks it's fine.
himself.
So I was like, I can help you sew that. We can do a segment. But he said no.
That might be a little gross. It might violate some YouTube standards.
I don't know. We might get more of his crowd.
You could put butterfly
Apparently, Claudia P is also in Peoria.
Hey,
So there you
good
go.
news.
I will
Nice.
sometimes come down. I came down for a sewing day with the two of us not too long ago. That was fun.
We
Many
try.
years ago, I dated a guy in Peoria many years ago.
There
I
you go.
drive through more often than not because my in-laws are in Champaign. But that's fun. But yeah, Chantel and I met blindfolded trying to figure out who was the tallest. And we were one person in
Wow.
between us,
Yeah. Stephanie is like that much taller.
like barely.
But it was a hill. No, she really
was
is
a
that
hill.
much taller though.
The fact that we were actually mostly in order with like
Oh,
each
you have the
step was
Flintstone
impressive.
shirt on.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I dress up for this kind of stuff here.
Well, you're supposed to come in your PJs, so it's perfectly fine.
I couldn't find my
Mary,
pizza
it is
PJs.
totally fine for you to come whenever you are. So this was the original Tula. And do we have an animal on this one? I don't. But I do.
Oh, you have the spirit animal.
I have
one.
the original,
Mm.
yeah. This was like the beginning of my love affair with Tula.
Oh.
I also saw no point in the purpose of these perfect ones and like until I got this, I just got the whole kit. And they're so awesome for fussy cutting. And I can't believe I like poo-pooed on them forever.
I don't like them
I'm
for
like, that's
fussy
just an
cutting.
unnecessary expense. You don't need that.
I actually don't use them for fussy cutting at all.
Really?
I use the paper template and I lay the fabric out the way that I want it backwards. And I take my paper and I lay it over what I want and I do some registration marks on the paper. And then I'm able to go to like multiple pieces and determine how to
Yes.
get them all exactly the same.
Chantel loves
Actually-
eating.
It's like one of those things that I thought that I was not going to do, but it's basically all I do now because getting downstairs to do this stuff requires your husband not cutting his finger off before you film and stuff like that.
That's
That would be
terrible.
slightly important.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be too much to ask, right?
I just want to
So we
say
can't do that.
thanks to Persia. That was a lovely comment there. And I actually was born in the northern Chicago suburbs, and lived in Zion and Winthrop Harbor. So like my parents are literally on the Wisconsin border, like you cross street me in Wisconsin. So spent a lot of time in Kenosha growing up. So I'm familiar with your neck of the woods.
I know Kenosha a little bit. They had an outlet mall.
They did, I think they still do.
My mother-in-law, I mean, my husband's from Grayslake. So, you know, she loves to shop. So
Yes.
I've been
Well,
to
it's a fun thing
Kenosha.
to do. Apparently there's a very good knitting shop, or at least was a couple years ago. I need to like convince my parents to let me go sometime when I'm up there. Oh, I didn't even notice this, but I fussy cut a little.
I love when I do that.
I know, right?
Complete
But-
accident. Yep. Take credit for that. You did it.
So Chantel and I are going on a quilting cruise in about, is it 6 weeks? Not even.
Not
Well,
even.
like
It's like
8
40
days.
some days. We're down to the countdown.
Yeah, a month and 8
That's
days.
awesome. That's what? For how long? A month?
We're
Oh
gone
God, I wish.
for 13 nights on the boat, plus one
Mhm.
night before and 2 nights after in London. So we're going to be away from our children for 16 nights, which I know I'm going to miss them, but I also am going to very much enjoy like being just Stephanie.
Yes, you need to be yourself.
Yes. So that'll be
It's
a lot.
gonna be
How old
really
are your
fun.
children?
9 and 4. Well, almost 10. She'll turn 10 while I'm going, which I feel bad about,
My
but
daughter's 23. Haha.
yeah.
I'm out of that stage. My daughter's
Oh, it's been, yeah. I also
My
have
daughter's
little
grown up.
ones.
No, I don't have
I'm-
little ones.
You don't
My
have little
daughter's
ones.
23. No, my daughter's 23.
Well,
Rita says she knows where John's from, because she's went to school in Evanston and had cousins in Libertyville. My dad did a lot
Oh.
of work in Libertyville and Lake Forest in his career. So
I know all these places because there were places to shop and I went with my mother-in-law. So
there you go.
that's,
That works.
if there was a place to shop in the burbs of Chicago, she
Remy.
took me there.
Stop digging in my trash. There's no food in it. Actually, there may be some old alcoholic beverages from my sister's house, but you need out. Come on. You want to introduce yourself and say hi?
Let's meet Remy, our first guest.
I know, right? Remy, come here. You could sit in my lap for a minute.
He's like, ooh.
Is he coming?
Come here, maybe. Let me go get him. Remy.
Where?
Oh,
where we are-
sorry for the explanation there, but apparently I am all thumbs today. And I spilt again.
Where?
Mostly on the floor. No fabric or machines were harmed in the making of that.
Well,
I apparently, the funny thing is I haven't had anything to drink, but I was so
Thirsty?
so my husband was doing the dishes.
Uh-huh.
Sweet of him, right?
Yes.
And he likes to keep his knives really sharp because that's just really manly, right? You got to keep your knives sharp.
How
So,
did he manage to cut himself?
well, apparently it kind of was stuck to the counter and he went to grab it and it stayed stuck and his hand didn't. And it just sliced right across
Oh,
the knife.
that is bad.
And
That is bad.
that happened, you know, like not even 25 minutes ago. Maybe it was 25
is
minutes
a
ago or
bad
so.
cut.
His surgery hand, is it?
And like, you know, as mom, it's like I hear a different, you know, sound in the swear word that was
Uh-huh.
yelled at that moment. It's clearly like an actual, like I'm not just annoyed, but like I'm hurt. which he would never admit. So, there's that. But,
Yeah.
after
You should
getting
have
in
known
everything.
better. Being a doctor, you should know better. 'Cause you need your
Oh,
hands.
he also likes to race three-wheelers and put big motors on things. And,
It needs to be
he
wide
should.
and nice because he's a doctor.
He's just got to be smart at work. He can't be smart at work and home. That's asking
You
way
gotta
too
be
much.
careful at home because you need your hands if you're a doctor.
Well, thank God
So-
they're insured. But meanwhile, I was all flustered because of that. And yeah, so apparently I am still like shaky because I don't deal with, those type of injuries the same way as he does. He's like looking at it like it's kind of cool. It's straight to the bone.
No, it's
I'm like-
not cool. That is gross.
Like, I'm not impressed in the same way you are.
I wouldn't either.
No.
That is
So I need to find my
gross.
starch towel again because apparently
is
it's got a lot of
gross.
work to do
That is
today.
gross. To the bone is not good. That is
No.
not wise. That
No.
is disgusting. Why does he think that's cool? That is not. I think he needs his head examined.
My
That might
husband,
be true, but
did
he's
one of
not
those
that kind
things.
of doctor. So, hey, oh well.
No, but he needs. What is it? There's a phrase goes. I think doctor heal yourself or something.
Well, it's John. He's the very same John that Stephanie would have met 19 years ago. That man never changed. I gotta find a towel. Where are all my towels?
In the
Good
bathroom.
question.
No, I keep towels in my sewing space because I like to use starch.
Okay, yeah, because then you don't want to saturate in the tables. In your
Yeah,
closet,
so
in the brown
yeah, there's
closet there?
somewhere. There's somewhere. But see, I also have in-laws that like to help, you know.
You know, they
And
might
so-
see this. You
They
gotta
take
It's
the
okay.
towels.
It's my father-in-law. He likes to help. And so sometimes that means moving things that I know I need in there, but seem like maybe I don't need in there, like a towel.
You need a towel.
I need the
Like you said
towel.
when you use
So
starch.
let's see. Now I'm in the bathroom. Can you still hear me? This is kind of fun.
Yes.
I can actually hear you. This was the fun part of being on our headphones the
This
other
is
day,
true.
is we could walk all over the place and still hear each other.
Definitely you have a cute dog.
Oh, thank you. His name is
One of three.
yes. This is not as many as I've had in the past, but he was my
Well-
grandma's dog, and I took him when she passed, and she was very happy to know he had a home for life
Yeah.
with me.
Ugh. How much does the Bernina presser foot cost?
Did you just lose it or break it?
Oh, it's just covered
So-
in beverage. So,
Probably not a cheap thing because everything
No.
Bernie does is expensive.
Try to
I don't want to
like
know. That'll be fine. It actually looks cleaner under the table than it has in a long time.
Really?
That's good. It got a little washed away by your spirits.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's in good spirits now,
Yep.
Oh goodness.
literally.
So
So-
I thought it was very funny today because we were going back and forth on whether to do this on Friday or Saturday because I thought Saturday Night Sew-In had great alliteration. And Chantel's like, but my kids like murder me every Saturday. And mine do
It's
too,
true.
but because I'm with them all day, by myself too, because my husband works Saturday. And then Chantel had a little surprise last night.
So apparently I don't read my newsletters that my teachers send home
You don't?
because I know I do. I just totally missed the part about how there was a Teacher Institute day today, and then spring break starts on Saturday. Well, I saw spring break starts on Saturday. I did not notice the whole part about how today was an additional day off. And I didn't find that out until about 7 when my kids are like, well, I'm not going to see so and so tomorrow to be able to give them this, that, or the other thing because we don't have school. And I was like, that's funny. And they're like, no, really, we don't have school, Mom. And I'm like, wait, are you pranking me? They weren't pranking me. It was not a joke. The irony is that they actually go back to school on April 1st, or not April 1st, April 2nd. So I have them through April 1st. So it is like the longest April Fool's prank ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine just had spring break, and then they're going to be off Thursday through Monday of next week because it's Catholic school, so we have to have the entire Easter holiday. And I'm just like, okay, how am I supposed to get any work done? I have to take them with me. What did you do to your beverage? Is this when you dropped it?
Yeah.
Oh,
I-
goodness.
I'm just really clumsy anyways.
It's okay.
Well, you know,
Do kids have coloring books when they're on spring break?
I wish
Oh,
it was
some of them
coloring
are a
books.
little too old. Like my older daughter is at a point where she can mostly entertain herself. It's the little one that I can't get anything done.
How old is your little one?
She's 4. So she needs, unless I'm gonna bribe her with, videos, which I don't want her on all day long.
No.
It's like
Does she
I
have-
gave up.
you don't get
I
too
did
much.
the videos
toys
like
in
all
the
day
room?
long for the boy
She have
because
toys
it
in
was
the
just
room?
not going to happen.
Does she have what?
Her own toys?
Oh yeah. And their
Oh.
their toy room is like at the other end of my room space. So
Yeah,
like,
that looked really nice. How
yeah, that
you
was
fixed
really
that
fun to
stuff.
do. It's currently a disaster and has laundry that needs to hang dry in it, so that's gonna need to be handled before Wednesday night. But
I mean, they
I
should
got to
have,
move you guys up onto my ironing board here because I have a binding to sew. So here we
but
go.
it's like they're like enough apart to where you think they wouldn't fight, but they 100% fight all the time. And so they're either perfectly good working together or they're gonna kill each other. And there is absolutely no in between. And you just kind of have to like see what you're getting that day. And it can be challenging.
well, for
So-
a little one, if she has her own room, you could have put things for her to play with.
Yeah. Well, they have their whole toy space at the other end of the basement.
But I mean, in
I-
their own room. In their
Oh no, they
room,
share a bedroom. So
they
that
do?
doesn't go well.
Well, one of them can go to in there, the other one could go to the bedroom.
Yeah.
It all sounds good in theory, but
It
they
does.
never do the cute plan that you have in mind. They go
I do
rogue.
like get craft projects for them. And that sometimes they'll be interested in that. And I can do some stuff on a computer next to them.
I think
Or
the
like we can
craft
turn on a
project-
Disney movie. Michael's is great for kids' art projects. We just picked up some stuff today.
craft projects scare me. They're so messy.
You just have to room that you can get messy in.
Like
That's why-
every other room in the house
Yes, pretty much.
for me. So, Stephanie, we should talk a little bit more about like what
The cruise.
first we were talking about how we met and how this continued.
Yes.
And then it's
Back
yes,
then, I feel like the things that we shared with each other were drink recipes. And you taught me to eat ramen raw as a
did
snack.
I?
I think you did.
That sounds like something I would do.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I mean, anything that doesn't need cooked is a better thing for it.
Chantel's not
But
a
you
fan.
guys should all see Stephanie's chicken she made last week.
I can pull up the image and
How
show you
was
guys.
it?
It was good. So I
Oh,
just got like a chicken at Aldi and like put some olive oil and herbs on it. And Chantel thinks it's the most amazing thing in the world. But honestly, the hardest part about it was I noticed there were I planted carrots last fall and then promptly forgot about them, or last spring. And so I noticed that the greenery was there. So I pulled them up and sure enough, we had some pretty good looking carrots. So the most intense thing was getting all those carrots ready to eat. So this is where we're at here.
That looks
And
yummy.
Chantel thought that was just amazing.
That looks yummy.
It
Oh,
was.
I
show
was shocked
show
it
them.
wasn't from Sam's Club. Like that's
That's
what
where I
I
get
would
mine.
have done.
Yeah, me too.
This was a crock pot meal. I did like nothing but put this in the crock pot and add
Well, it
some
looks
stuff to
delicious.
it. So, you can get some good stuff from Aldi. You just throw it in there.
We have all these here in Florida too.
Well, I
Throw
think
it
we're
in
gonna
there.
mute you guys for just a second. Hi, Heather. And let's see. Tiffany wants to know what kind of Bernina you have.
Oh, I play on my dream machine. She is a Bernina 770 QE with the plus. I feel
You're
like
the
I'm like
Tula
on,
version.
yeah, it's my Tula.
She's the big Tula.
And yeah, and then I have some stickers on here, but I like this one the best. It says, perfect is boring, but it's upside down.
I mean,
Because,
I feel like that makes sense.
yeah, exactly.
All right,
And
so
I
I'm
mean, my
gonna
logic's not the
mute
best.
you guys for a bit. Chantel and I are gonna talk funny. I don't know. Hopefully we'll be funny. We think we're funny.
We think we're great. We're amazing.
You guys will think so too. But we have a good time. But
Yes.
all right. So
So
we
the
want
first thing I wanted to ask you about are some of the projects that you're going to be working on in upcoming weeks here, because I know you have a few things on deck that you're
have many
excited to get
things on
showing
deck.
because people are missing you.
Chantel came back with PhilCon and was like, everyone thinks you're never coming back. And I was like,
It was well, Gwendolyn was a big part of that.
I had some mental health stuff. I'm not totally through it. I have stuff sitting here that has been ready to film with for at least 3 weeks that I have not gotten the urge to get my makeup on. But you know, it's a work in progress. And I have a therapist now, and she told me my assignment was to be okay relaxing sometimes. And also, I know it's like Chantel's face. And also to film something before we talk next, which is Tuesday. So I'm gonna have to film Monday. So we'll
This
see.
is filming, right? Doesn't this
Not
count?
really. It's like a different level to like get all the hair and makeup done. Like that's what I'm having a hard time with because that's like
Okay,
so
well, yes.
reminiscent of what it was. And it was like a really hard fall. And that it's really hard to get past that.
It's
So
kind of
that's
like if you have a bad, accident in a sport, getting back up there could be a little
basically a little,
traumatic. Yeah. Well, I mean, yes. I mean, getting your makeup and hair and, God forbid, put a bra on is just like hard in general.
Yeah, with underwires, like, oh my
Oh,
God, that's enough.
gosh.
I had to wear one
Yeah.
all day today because I was out and about. And I was like, oh my God. I had to I'm getting physical therapy because I screwed up my wrist when I was doing the floors of our basement in October. It's still messed up. So I had to lay on the thing with the underwire bra on, and it was like the so pain. It was like worse than my wrist.
Wait, you wore that to like physical therapy? You wore
Well,
an
what am I gonna
underwire
do?
bra?
I had to go to like the salon, and then I had to go to physical therapy.
Ugh.
And in between, I had a chance meading with an amazing artist who I have now introduced to like the free
Oh, I'm
dream
excited
scene
about her.
because she had these pants on that she had printed from her fabric cart. And I'm like, you are just screaming free spirit vibes. So we have been
Oh,
texting
so
back
good.
and forth all night. So her and I. So it's really she's young, she's hungry, and she's trying to open an art studio. But projects I have coming up. So I can share. I have so many things on my screen. Let me try and open just the thing that I'm working on. There, I can do that. All right, hang on. Let me share my screen here. We're going to share Adobe. So this I'm working on for our quilt cruise that we have coming up. This is the project that they're going to be doing on it. It's kind of like a revamped triangle masterclass. So we have our half square triangles in the corners, and then we have some double pinwheels that are mirror image. So you kind of get two for the price of one there. And then we go into some quarter square triangles, some flying geese, and not included in the original class was a square and a square. So we're going
Oh,
covering all of these, and they're all made from squares. So it's not like it's kind of a safety when you're working on the bias because you're less likely to stretch everything out when you have it like this. And then you cut it apart after you've stitched. So what I'm working on doing right now is getting the digital images ready in the fabric that I'm going to use, which I think is still upstairs. But I'm working with Stephanie Brandenburg from Fron Design Studios. I'm actually doing a lot of her marketing behind the scenes right now. And so we're going to have two different colorways here. So this is the one with the white background. So what I've been working on today is making sure that everything is lined up perfectly so that there's no like white in the background, which can be a real pain to do. So that is immediately what is happening. And that is going to be available for our cruise people first. And then after that, we're going to open it up as a sew along. And I haven't figured out the dates yet, but I know like this is going to be my intro back into quilting or filming, because I have to film as I make it. So that way you guys can have the sew along as you go. And so you'll be able to get kits once we get back from Stephanie Brandenburg. The pattern will be available to everybody then. And you guys can, or you can use your own fabric too, but you guys have the two options there to go through. And that is going to be I haven't decided on the price yet, but we're going to do like a paid sew along, because I'm not making money on the fabric anymore. So I have to, pay for my food somehow. So we're going to a paid sew along, and the paid part will include the pattern. Plus we'll do like some Zoom chats every week for people who are in it to ask questions of anything that you had trouble with, or just to show off what you did that week. So that'll be kind of fun. I also am working behind the scenes with Shell Rummel
Yes.
on her
Free
marketing.
Spirit.
I have worked with Shell Rummel. She's a fabric designer for Free Spirit, and we've collaborated for years, like since my first book. And
Do you have a quilt behind you that's shell?
I have an entire shelf behind me that's Shell, which is
You
right
have a
here.
shelf. The
I
shelf.
have a shelf, yes. And one of them this was in my first book. This one was Herringbone.
Oh.
I'm not going to unfold it because it's a pain to refold it. But one of them is on my bed right now.
Oh, the one you had finished quilting and you needed to bind at our little sew retreat
no,
thing?
that one I ended up giving to my mother-in-law because it was like a lot of white background fabric, and my dogs are very dirty. And I knew that it would live a better life there.
All of those
Pets.
swirls, all of those
I
quilted
know, it was really
swirls.
gorgeous.
Ah,
She'll
but-
cherish it.
you're such a good daughter-in-law.
I'm like, I know it's just gonna like actually live a good life there, and here it's just gonna get destroyed by the dogs. So just I don't know. We had two basset
True.
hounds. They're very dirty.
I don't make anything that's heirloom quality. I just need to last for like 5 years,
Yeah.
and then it can become a pot holder or something, because, I have 3 kids and 4 dogs and a husband child. So we're just
Yeah.
trying to get by.
Does he know that you
Mostly.
call him your husband child?
Oh, I'm pretty sure he does. I
Yeah.
mean, I got him a bounce house for an anniversary. Like,
I thought he got you a bounce house.
no. He got me a very nice handbag after I complained about the fact that,
All the other
yeah,
dogs
it's our
said Louis
anniversary.
Vuittons.
Maybe you could have gotten something. He's like, oh, I was going to buy you something while we were out. I was like, yes, you were.
There you go. But that's a big thing. I'm working on my next book, which is all about quilted panels projects. And some of them are like really like big, like not heirloom type, but like almost art quilts, something you hang on your wall.
They're really cool.
And
Lots
then
of
there's a
thread
lot-
changes in that quilting.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
there's a lot of thread changes. You can see those on my Instagram right now. And then there's a lot of just really simple projects too. So that's happening. And I just designed a quilt for consideration for the sales boards for Fraud Design Studios. And since, the creator her and I are working together really closely, that'll probably end up on there. And it like cuts up a panel in that one. Whereas all the panels I'm doing in the book are all pretty much left intact or fussy cut. So this one is a little bit more fun. But what I've actually really enjoyed is being able to like not be bound by it has to be,
A fat quarter quilt.
and it has to meet with this specific fabric collection. Like I had a pattern come to me the other day. It was a lot of flying geese, so I know some of you are gonna be like, pass, but it looks really cool. So I'm just like, I'm excited about it. And I was
That's
glad that
awesome.
I just kind of had a pattern pop in my head because it's been a bit for that. So
I'm
creativity-
excited on the cruise that we're going to be doing other people's projects.
Yes, I'm gonna learn curve piecing. That's what I'm very excited for. Because I've done
And-
curve piecing, but not like Joe Westfoot does curve piecing.
Yeah.
Like that's
That-
a whole nother level.
So there's still openings for the
There
cruise
are.
too.
So they're all
Um,
suites, so it costs a little bit extra to do that. But I mean, if you're gonna travel across
Going
the
to
ocean,
Europe,
yeah, I mean, do it in style.
invite us over with your suite, okay?
I know. We're we're probably gonna try and film, depending on how the Wi-Fi is, probably try and film one of these while we're on there. But it would be
Yeah, at least.
a couple.
Who knows? We might be at a coffee shop in Portugal or wherever.
I know,
but,
right?
You know,
The time is gonna change, I think, every single day we're there, which is
that's
crazy.
gonna be really weird. Wait, does this make the cruise shorter or longer though?
I don't know.
time
I know
thing
we
is
like lose a day coming back, basically.
Yeah, the whole time thing. I mean,
I can hear
It's
my
very
husband saying to
sci-fi.
the girls upstairs. It is 10:15.
I don't want
says
to know what's
I'm-
going
he
on
says-
upstairs.
I'm bad at getting the kids to bed, and I think he has just taken the cake for it.
He's
Oh,
taken a page out of your book.
Apparently. I don't let him stay up this late. Intentionally, anyway.
Well, gosh, what time is it here? I
it's
don't know.
10:15.
Oh gosh.
They need to be in bed.
Yeah. They need to be in bed.
15 over here in Florida. We're an hour ahead of you.
Oh, you were up late with us. Thank you.
This is
But-
the only time sometimes that we get to sew or, talk
When the
as
kids are
parents.
finally in bed and we've convinced our husbands to handle it.
And we somehow drag ourselves down to our basements,
Well,
our
you
fungeons,
need
to be
quiet.
able,
Need
to
quiet.
actually do something.
Need to be quiet. Peace,
Oh.
peace and quiet.
Yes, pretty much.
No
Well, or
distraction.
rowdy. Rowdy with a friend is just as fun as peace and quiet sometimes.
What am I doing? Is this?
What
it has
are
been
you
so
doing,
long
actually?
Since I've taken
What
one
am
of
I
these
doing?
out, that I don't
am I
know
doing?
for sure how
Is
to
that
do
what
it.
you're saying?
Yes, I have not
I'm
put in
relaxed
one
right
of.
now. Got off of work
Here we
earlier
go.
today.
I have done this. It's not the correct way, but I have done it.
Oh, yes. Okay. So, yeah, you have to get them in and then twist while the cap is still on.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
not so
Mere
smart with
English
that.
paper piecing girl here.
I have not done English paper piecing in a very, very long time.
I've been working on an ice cream soda. This is one of the little itty bitties in the
It's
inside.
so cool.
Yeah, it's been fun. And I'm teaching my daughter right now how to do it. So she's working on hexes.
That's awesome.
And well, yeah, because she hated sewing before because God forbid you love something your mom loves. She's 7, but
Oh, my
she's
daughter's super into it.
well, yeah. Well, she was like born into it.
Basically,
I mean, I guess Hazel kind of was too, but not in the
my
same
kids have grown up in a
intense
quilt
way.
shop.
That's true. I mean, my daughter basically grew up at your quilt shop, but it's just all the stuff you sent me.
One time when we were closing up, Chantel got a lot of stuff and she kept kind of adding on, and we had like a batting box full of things that we were sending her. And so I told her, I'm like, just tell John it's batting, it's just really heavy. And because it said like batting on the side of it. And
It was a lot.
she's like giving me the play-by-play that it happened to arrive in like the 10 minutes that he took the golf cart ride around.
Yeah, the kids wanted a golf cart ride, and they delivered it, and I had to grab like our big dolly because my husband works with a lot of big stuff. You got to
Yeah.
have all the tools. The tools are fun, so I get this big dolly out, and I'm like dragging it into the house. It's heavy. I'm like, the people
You have a
won't
lot
come
of
up to our.
fabric.
We have a huge. I do. We have a huge driveway, and we have 4 dogs, and the 2 dogs are quite noisy. And so the guys won't come down our drive, and that's fine. That's why we have a long driveway. Like a good neighbor, stay over there. And so, they generally don't. So he just drops it in the middle of the driveway, and I have to run out there and get this thing inside and into the
Try to
basement.
find it for purposes.
And I did it. I did it. And luckily nothing is tidy enough that you'll just notice a huge box. Like it's just another huge box. That's going to become
Okay.
an end table if we leave it there long enough. Like that's what big boxes are for,
It's all
right?
good.
Yeah.
Zarina
I
was
just
asking if I'm doing a cruise next year, and the answer is I am a guest on this cruise, so I would love to, but I need to get asked back. So hopefully I do a bang up job while I'm there and they ask us back because it's going to be a lot of fun. Very
I
excited.
want you to tell them what your husband said about being your plus one for the cruise.
Oh, I don't remember exactly what he said.
Oh, I do.
What
I
did he
remember
say?
it pretty vividly because this is how I ended up getting to go, was like, I can't think of anything that would be worse than being on a cruise with you for 2 weeks in the middle of the ocean
It
with
wasn't
people who
with
think you
me.
are a celebrity.
It wasn't with me. It was being on a cruise, period. He's
With
so afraid
people
of
who
the
think you're
water.
a celebrity.
He's so afraid of the water and he's afraid of all things fish, and the idea of being in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean for days on end is just terrifying to him. Like he wouldn't want to do a Caribbean cruise where you're like just island hopping in a different place each day.
I just went to Antarctica on a cruise. It was my first cruise, and yeah, I don't think that would have been a good example of,
Probably
a
not.
first cruise. The Drake Passage. If you haven't looked at videos of what the Drake Passage is like, it's insane. Like 20 to 40 foot swells and like a boat that you wouldn't even consider a cruise ship most of the time. It
Like
counted as a cruise ship,
this celebrity
but
one's supposed to be giant.
it's the antithesis of whatever I was just on. It's
I'm
just
still
us
gonna get
and like
prescription.
50,000 of our closest friends. It's
Yeah.
fine.
It'll be fine.
It'll
It
be
is
great.
kind of going to be a Cult Addicts Anonymous cruise, though, because the majority of the people who've signed up are through me. So
Well,
that's
for that portion. But then again, if you bring your family, they're not going to be like running into us all the time or anything. There's a million things to do. I
Yeah.
did not understand this at all before. Yeah, it's a lot of other things going on
there's all
all
kinds
at
of
once,
entertainment.
and
went
different
to
pools and restaurants, and like what's covered though is like, because is it for
so
everybody? Is it like
there are
pretty
some
much inclusive?
dining rooms that are
There's
included,
4.
and there are some that are not. If you want to have like a fancy meal, Chantel and I are going to be cheap. We're going to do whatever's
Oh,
included.
we're
I might be
this
ordering
is the
my
goal.
gin separate from my tonic and lime if needed to keep the
Yeah.
drinks under
If
10.
so if your drinks are under $10 or $10 and under, you get them free. So I'm like, does that mean like if you get a shot of gin and you get a shot of tonic, and it, gin and tonic's $12, but gin is 8 and tonic is 2, then it's like
Apparently,
your
a lot
gin
of
is 8 and tonic is 5. Well, it's still separate. So I don't know. That's the
we're gonna find
goal.
out. But
That's a
and they
game.
said that a lot of like the higher shelf liquors are included in that $10, but all the food is included. And what Ray and John do, they're kind of like the travel agents for it. They're with
And
RG
they're
Travel,
adorable.
who is today's sponsor. And they make sure that like what the price is going to be before you get on that ship. Like they make sure that the gratuities are included. They make sure that you've got the meal plan you need, the drink package you need, and if you want to upgrade while you're there, that's fine. But I remember I went on one cruise before this with my parents, and it's really easy to add things up when you're on a cruise boat because everything gets swiped to your room key. And so you
Yep.
don't necessarily realize
Ask me
like,
how I know.
I spent a lot of money on this and I didn't mean to, and like including any shopping you do at the duty-free shops and stuff. And
It's crazy.
I'm very excited
just-
to go to Liberty of London though. That's like
Yeah. I just realized I sewed my binding on the wrong side of where I actually wanted to sew it.
like the entire quilt. You have to unpick all of it.
No, I'm not going to unpick it. We're just gonna,
You're just gonna roll with it.
yeah, it just goes this way now.
Those happy accidents.
It's not like I have a raw edge out. I just really wanted to sew it down, and whatever. I hand sew all the time. I guess I'll just hand sew it down. Whatever.
It's all good.
Well, most of your bindings on a lot of your quilts are just glued because,
They are. That's a secret, Chantel.
Oh, sorry.
We have to
Trade
make
secret.
all-
Don't share beyond here.
No, it's fine. All of the quilts for like Stash 'em with Stephanie had to be made so fast that what I would do is I would take what is it? Heat and bond seam tape, and I would glue that sucker down. And it looks finished and it's placed perfectly for hand binding later, so you're not struggling with it. But a lot of them never got back to
I
it.
have a feeling that I'm getting the two largest quilts now to hand sew down since I have now shared the trade secret.
No, that's okay. Someday it'll get figured out.
Whatever.
But
You got to sew it down before you use it. That's all.
well, or before I die, maybe. Hopefully I got some
Whatever.
time.
Heat and bond stays though, right? I mean,
Yeah, you can't wash it.
you
That's
can't
no
or you can't.
No, it will not stay if you wash it. Found that out.
Oh,
That's a placemat.
I didn't know that. I usually use Steam too if I'm doing any applique though.
I have a hard time with Steam getting the paper off. Like
On
for the
Steam
little stuff.
1 or 2, they're different.
I don't know. I just sworn them all off because I had too much
I-
trouble.
Stephanie, I use a pin, like a little pin like
Yeah.
this, and just score the paper, and
Mhm.
it comes off pretty good that way.
That's good to know. I probably have a roll somewhere, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's probably on your long arm or under it somewhere.
Actually, I think it's inside the hutch that's in storage right now that I keep trying to convince my husband to bring into my kitchens so I can have a herb garden. You guys remember the hutch? Maybe some of you have been with me a long time. The hutch that used to be in the background of my videos, like when I was filming in my sunroom.
Yeah, you
That-
always had the big rolls leaning on it
Yeah.
on the side.
Those are also in storage. I don't know why I've kept them. They're still there. I keep thinking I'm gonna do home decor fabric someday, but I've not done that.
I use heat and bond.
Yeah, I use that a lot too. For
I think
things.
that's better.
I don't use it. I don't know.
I also want to make some clothes for me before the trip. I've got like everything out on the side. I need to actually pre-wash it, but I've got
I
some
did do
high-waisted-
my jacket.
Are you?
Of
You
course, I
do that.
I
I've
did
got some
my
high-waisted
did my
t-shirt.
jean jacket, right?
That's
For
perfect.
QuiltCon. And that was fast and easy. And I have big dreams. But being that I'm finally binding a very tiny quilt that I finished like a year ago for a baby that's now maybe like a year and a half. Maybe those dreams need to go somewhere on vacation.
So my biggest fear, I'm very good at garment construction. I do it for the kids, but my biggest fear for me is like the woman's body is very different than a child. And
Yeah.
things are in different places, especially after you've had children. And I've gained weight over the last year. And so I'm just like, we're just gonna go for it. Then I'll have something cute to wear. So I've got some fabric from Free Spirit from a Cave 108 backing that I'm gonna do a circle skirt with.
That's gonna be
and-
so cute.
Yeah, and I've got some shot cotton that's also Cave to do like a top with. And I'm gonna do what else am I got over there?
Did
Some
you
hybrid
mention your
knitting.
adorable friend that could also use some outfits?
You know, I'll be like barely lucky to get this done. So you can come and sew with me if you like, or I can come and sew with you. But I keep
That's
telling you
okay.
to go bra shopping before we go.
Yeah, right. I am my goal is to not have to wear a bra on vacation, but I think that's just not going to happen.
I don't think that's gonna work for outfit.
No, I have a big quilt on the long arm right now that I need to finish that I have been avoiding
Yeah.
like the plague. And
Too.
because it's
Like,
not my quilt. And so it's not as exciting to do it because it's not as exciting of quilting. It's
gonna
not
take
random
you-
and colorful. Ooh, where are we going?
just to my dressing surface. So this is my quilt ball.
Oh, what is
fabric
that neon one you got going on there?
That is another quilt I've been avoiding. Our former employee, Bobby, made this, and I need to quilt it for him, and I have not. It's been there for a while.
See,
But-
that I could quilt. You want to trade?
I want to do it upright. This is why I'm frustrated. with it.
I know how you
So this is, I have all my garment stuff over here. So here's the high-waisted pants that I'm going to do, and it's with the cotton lawn from Wyndham. and it's gorgeous.
You might want to take
Yeah,
that
it's
over to your
beautiful.
filming area so you can see the light better.
Oh, this is true. Let me back it up a little bit. There we go. Maybe, I don't know.
Ah,
Okay.
yeah, you're getting
Now
some
we
of the
can
color
talk.
there.
It's huge. It's gorgeous. It's going to be super fun. And then this is the cave. See if we can back that up enough too. This might be better close.
It's a nice
Ah,
color.
A little bit.
So this is the cave for the skirt. And
That
then
looks
this
nice.
is the shot cotton that's going to go with it for the
Oh, that
short.
looks good. Good combination.
And this is from Mood Fabrics. And I'm going to
What
need
kind
a
of fabric
top.
is that?
I don't remember.
Is it
But
stretchy?
I got
or-
it specifically to make this dress. Which I
I
definitely
have-
have a tank top underneath because it's like open on the sides.
Is it rayon?
It's not rayon. I know it's some sort of cotton sateen or something. But
Does it feel like the backing of Tula fabric, like Tula backing?
it does not. But it's some sort of stretch something.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna serge it or?
Yeah, I'll use the serger for that. I feel guilty though, because I still haven't finished the kids' pajama pants that I cut out like after Christmas.
Well, I mean, after what happened to your pajama pants.
If anybody's looking for something funny, go run over to the TikTok or Instagram and you can watch me doing the hammer pants and some pajama pants that I accidentally sewed the legs as the crotch for.
Oh my god, that was
So
funny.
they
I saw
came
that.
up to about here. Oh, it was not good.
I think you should have leaned in and just put suspenders on those puppies and
No.
you had an opportunity.
I did. They're still put together like that. So
So we can keep them like that.
because
Oh, by the way, I noticed on the cruise, who wants to sponsor those?
I am not bringing flannel pajama pants. That's all I-
There's no room in my luggage all of a sudden. What do you know? That's funny.
Oh, it feels good
I-
to finally use some of like the fabric that I've collected too. Because like Tula, Prawn Design Studios, those were all things that I never got to actually work with because they sold so fast. I didn't have to do anything to make it sell.
It was my fault. It was me.
You
I
did.
was
mean-
always buying the Tula.
You
Like, well,
weren't
that
the
time,
only
when
one
did,
buying Tula though.
well, yeah, but that one time, what was it that came out that Tiny Beast. Tiny Beast
Yeah, when
came
I
out.
asked my husband if he was sure he put the yardage up, and he said he was, and then we looked at the orders, and Chantel had bought all of it. Chantel's a doctor's wife. She really
Oh,
powers for
man.
quilty goodness.
Yeah. She's a doctor's wife. She can
Well,
do
you
what
are a
she
doctor's
wants.
wife.
Yes, but I have to hear about it upstairs.
This is
So if anybody wants to hear a snarly husband, go ahead, buy all the Tula you want. See what happens. It doesn't matter
my
how much
children
money
are-
you make.
My children are still awake upstairs.
No.
I hear them laughing and running around about me. Oh,
Oh my goodness.
I know, right? This is not my fault.
Ah, well.
I know.
Well, I'm glad to hear you have tons of projects on deck because
I do. I just need to actually do them. I'm doing a
Oh,
lot of
and
freelance video editing. And so that's kind of fun. But it's really easy to just sit in my bed all day with the dogs and my computer and edit all day. And that's just very cozy. I get to be under my quilt. But when I was in for physical therapy today, they're like, yeah, you gotta stop doing that. Can't sit at a desk. And I'm like, I have one.
what? Puppies.
Do I want to use it? No, I really don't. So, oh well,
Oh, well.
it's what it is. I'll have to be down, which is probably a good thing.
I'd love to see if some of the people that are on Facebook Live want
YouTube.
to show some of their projects. I haven't hopped on there yet. And
We're not on
And
Facebook
seen.
Live.
or
That
not Facebook,
required-
sorry, YouTube.
That required
Live.
some paying things, and I wasn't sure how this was going to go. So we'll wait and see how that goes. But
That's fair.
all right,
We'll
so
figure it out.
how about if you're on here, why don't we unmute you guys And if you would like to join in the chat, I'm going to paste it over here. I'd love to see what you guys are working on. I
Yes,
am
'cause
smiling and
ultimately
having fun. I definitely
This-
still have like hurdle things, but it's always a good time with Chantel. That's for sure.
I'm chaotic at
It's
best.
good. It's good.
So
I did this small quilt for my niece. I just have to bind it.
Oh, that's
Ooh,
cute.
flying
Is that like
geese.
your little doll quilt?
No, it's just for like her room.
Yeah.
It's like flying geese, and I put yellow. Then there's like all chickens and stuff. I don't
Oh,
know if
that's
you
cute.
can see it. You
Yeah,
see
there's
it?
better light. I see it now.
Yes. There we go.
So I just have to bind it. Then I put the pink in the back.
See, Stephanie and I have dolls on the brain because we have
do.
girls that are, you know, doll loving age, but also,
We came of age at the dawn
Yeah.
of a American Girl.
I actually have I have a grin pin thing up here on my my board.
What is that?
I like how it decided to zoom in. It's all the grin pins, the American Girl grin pins.
Oh, I see.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
She's a
doll
little.
stuff. Yeah.
I have pitched my editor us doing a book with doll clothes, but she was going to research how well it sold. But our argument was that the stuff that's out there is ugly, so
It is ugly.
we
It's
need to be
awful.
allowed to do it and do it like contemporary.
I did
Absolutely.
this purse a while ago.
Well, I'm working on my cotton
With my
cut
quilt group.
quilt, and so this is my most recent block.
Cute.
But these are the colors.
Oh, those are nice.
Do you know what the fabric designer is
don't.
for that?
But it was fortune teller. Because they never use the actual lines, the fabric. I think it's called cornflower, something like that. Does that sound familiar, Stephanie? Do you recognize it?
No,
I think it's
I kinda
Andover.
outgrew it a little bit, but that is really cute. I'm actually going to be their featured designer next month, which is very
I
exciting.
think it's Andover.
I like the Andover stuff.
I finished
see if I-
this one just last month, this bag.
Very cool. Is that strip piece?
Yes. No,
Very-
it's strips. Yeah, two
Yeah.
and a half inch strips.
Cute.
So
Do we have anybody from YouTube that's gonna hop
Nobody
on and
has
show us what
popped
they're up to?
in yet. Or asked
I
us
think
to-
we need to do our show and tells early in our talks. And so the way this will probably end up going down is like for now, we're just happy to get Stephanie back on camera and
Hey,
make
That's
her
right.
visit everyone.
we're also
so-
like soft launching Chantel's career in the fabric world.
I mean, well, I'm gonna have to do something with all that fabric I bought.
You
So
are for
Yeah.
sure.
they
I don't
quilt.
think I'm getting away without, trying to sew off some of that stash eventually. I mean, I got the room for it. I took over our theater room in this house. Who needs a theater room anyways, right? Like, nope,
No, it's yours now.
nope. We got 3 machines already up in this room and
Your table.
I'm taking a
awesome to
course
look at.
right now with sewing docs to learn how to fix sewing machines. So actually, I think that would be a really cool person, Andy, to have as a guest eventually, because that
should
is a
take-
dying art.
You should take a look at my massive stash of antique machines.
Good. Give me something
Wow.
to work on.
It's so many, Chantel. It's embarrassing. I don't actually know the number of how many.
Well, ow, I just poked myself.
It's no good.
Why do pins have to do that? Why do they got to get in the way when
I don't
My
know.
daughter
I'm
was
trying to
terrified.
connect the binding? It never goes well.
Oh,
I use the clips.
Yeah, well, I'm like trying to connect it, and the fabric doesn't really have one side that it's like a woven, and so it doesn't have one side that looks like the inside. So I keep on trying to like reposition it, and then I can't decide if I have it the right way. Well, we're gonna find out by picking it out later, probably. So
You
I mean,
know, I feel like with those, you kind of can just wing it. If
Yeah,
you
but
can't tell, nobody else will be able to.
well, I mean, like I can't tell if I'm right sides together when I'm going to sew it, and you know how it gets all kind of twisted at the final.
Oh, yeah. I know.
Yeah. And so I keep on pulling it apart to decide if I actually got the right sides together or not. But I don't know. We'll find out.
Did you get it together?
Maybe, I don't know. We're gonna find out. We'll think about thinking about it.
And
No, let's
plus,
just hope the machine doesn't eat it because I didn't put on a different plate. I don't know. Bernina's can be kind of fussy. I have to admit, sometimes I miss my old sewing machine, which is actually a
I
funny
made
story.
a pillow
I
for
just,
my best friend.
oh,
Very
that's
cool.
cute.
There's a pillow actually in here, and then the pillowcase.
okay.
Oh, nice. I'm supposed to be
She's
making
bringing
a
it
pillow
back.
as one of my projects for
She's bringing
somebody,
it
and
back. So this is her birthday gift.
Sounds like you make a lot.
Yes, I do. Well, I made a pillowcase, and then I made. And see this pillow here, I stuffed it because I made the wrong pillowcase. So I stuffed the pillow. I stuffed it with batting, or no.
oh, there you go.
With fiber fill. So she has a nice fluffy pillow. Then this is I didn't realize until later that the pillowcase was sewn backwards. It was supposed to have been like this. So I tilted it backwards.
Such is
Then I
life.
didn't realize this was actually smaller than the actual pillow. So then I had this like bright green fabric, like one of my friends gave me from my quilt guild. Then I had a bag of polyester fiber film and I made it. So then it's like now she has a small pillow. So
Sometimes my dog is pretty violent with its stuffed toys, and the amount of stuffing that ends up on my floor that I'm like, could I just like save all that and make an additional dog toy?
My friend buys her dog these hard toys. I forgot they're
You
called
don't like
conch, I
those.
think. Conch, I think they're called conch, but they're safe for dogs.
Well, see, my dog doesn't like when you can't actually commit
Rip
the
it apart.
murder.
Well, too bad. You don't want him to commit murder.
Well, I also don't want him to eat my children's toys. So I you know,
No,
you gotta.
there's dog toys called conch. I think it's called conch or something.
He doesn't like those.
Well, too
You
bad.
talk to him about it. He doesn't want to hear about it.
Too
Cubby
bad.
Wubble.
All right, we've got some
boss, he's
questions on YouTube. Linda would like to know what we're thinking about Tula's Tabby Road, especially the Rainbow Minky.
Oh, I can't wait. So when this came out, I like attacked Stephanie's texts and I was like, she's live. It's Tabby. It's Tula Tuesday. You got to see this. And I was just sending her screenshots of it. She's like, I'm trying to work. But she was very excited. It's going to be very good. For me, at least. I'm not even a cat person, but I remember when the original Tabby Road came out and I wanted those tuna cans so freaking bad, but it was so broke. It was like feed myself, buy fabric tuna cans.
Probably feed yourself.
I'm kind of wishing I would have bought the tuna cans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one that I brought into the store. That was like the first
It wasn't, I think it was
in.
just before you started.
That was the first collection.
Was it?
First, yeah. And I couldn't get everything. I got some of it. And I made a little dress for Angela, who was like 3 at the time. And I put it in the shop window. And it was in there for just like a couple months. But the sun destroyed that dress. Like I went to go grab it for like school pictures. And I was like, well, that's unfortunate. She never got to wear it except for one picture on Instagram. I'm just like,
oh man.
So that's how the spirit animal dress came to be, that both of my kids have worn to first days of school now. But
that makes sense actually. I was gonna say that wasn't Tabby Road. Now I get it.
And I had to make it in one day because I'm a delusional mother who thinks you have to have it handmade for your kids. But
I made a dress for Hazel once.
All
so,
right. Mama Crafts is in. Do you have something to share with us that you made?
Or not, that's okay too.
That's cool. She said she was getting her computer set up.
Muted. Need a texter.
Let's see. What is the name of the book? I do not remember off the top of my head, Annette. It is something about panels. I should probably
You don't
know
know the
this.
name of your own book.
Oh, I don't. I never know until they come out because sometimes they change too.
When will it come out?
Spring of 25, so it's going to be a while.
Oh,
I've got
next
half
year.
the book
Okay.
done and turned in, and then the other half I have to have done by August, which is
Yay,
going to
I
be
like
here
books.
That's
sooner than I think. And the places we're going, so the cruise leaves out of Fort Lauderdale, and then we spend
Yay.
7 nights at sea or days at sea, one of those two. And then we're going to be at the Azores, which is a teeny tiny island off the coast of Portugal.
Wow, you're all the way down there.
Yeah, and then we go up to England.
Oh, England.
From there, and Belgium. Where else are we at? Ireland.
Ireland, and then we go
Yeah.
back to England,
So
Back to England.
and then to London.
London, England.
Yeah, then we end up in London. So there's going to be a
Hey,
fabric tour up there.
we're gonna
Oh,
mute
not
everybody
that
here
nice
real
fabric.
quick, and we're gonna talk about what we're excited for in London because that's gonna be really fun.
That's a big
Because
one.
you know, RGA Travels is a sponsor, so we should probably talk about them a little bit. But
Besides, y'all should go because it's going to be,
there are still a
like,
few suites left to get.
oh my gosh. It's
gonna
going to
be so
be
fun.
epic. It's going to
So,
be really cool.
like quilt bucket list for I feel like every quilter is Liberty of London. And I don't think I would ever get there if not for this cruise. But we dock in
I would
South.
have gotten there, but I'm really glad to take Stephanie.
I know, right? It's gonna be so much more fun.
That was like on my real bucket list. If you have not looked up photos of Liberty of London, it is like it's like a
Mecca.
fairy tale of fabric places. That's the best way to describe it. It is
What's it called?
Liberty of London.
I'll
And
look it up.
There's two kind of ways that it is shop it. Apparently you can get discount Liberty of London, which probably is like a season or so out of date. And that's in the fabric district. So we're gonna hit that because there's also a lot of garment fabric. I kind of want to look for tiny prints that might look really cute for doll clothes because then
yeah.
I don't have to buy large quantities because it's like $34 or 34 pounds, dollars or pounds, one of the two, a meter over there. It's not
It's
cheap.
a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. And
I mean, Liberty's a lot. They have it even at Joann's, and that's clearly not of season. And it's a lot.
I wonder if that's even so
It's real
sometimes-
Liberty, but
Sometimes when fabric ends up at Joann's or a big box store, it's been produced specifically for that. And so they've done it on
Yeah.
sub-quality substrates and with different finishing techniques than you would get at like a quilt shop. So I don't know. Like I don't know.
well, that's true.
No.
Like Kona at Joann's is Kona,
Yeah.
but you can't be guaranteed that. Like I've found Alexander Henry before
I have
at
two.
Joann's, but that doesn't feel like Alexander Henry.
I will say some stuff like anything that you see that's licensed, but that's from Camelot, I think that's the same at all places. But I'm not positive.
I don't know.
But anyway,
But-
so apparently it's a little bit less expensive when you go to the fabric district. And then they also have, it's like a garment district, basically, like they would have in New York City. So that's super exciting to check
That
out.
is
Like that and like I want to go to Mood someday without like a budget. Like that would be fantastic to be able to do that someday. That may be just a pipe dream because
Yeah.
that's gonna be a
Who
reality.
knows what that would be?
But
But other things in London. So we're gonna go to the more affordable place first
Yes.
because we can't blow the budget and then find out that we get to the fabric district and all this stuff we just bought was actually cheaper because it's out of date. Because as much as we keep up with our Tula lines, we are
we don't
not
with Liberty.
we are not clear about our Liberty stuff. But I do want some of the Neon Betsy, which is the cutest little floral print, but it has like really strong tones in it, but they're
Yeah.
still delicate flowers. I have to have it. I've been looking for it for years. And yeah, it's just so expensive. I can't make myself buy it when I see it online.
Well, and then you're paying shipping.
Yeah.
So you know,
Well, I'll find it like on Etsy and things like that, and it'll still, you know. Sorry, I'm plugging in my iron.
or
We're
do
at
it to
ironing
people.
time here.
People are going to bed, but we
Oh, I
probably
don't blame you guys, but
Yeah.
you know, we have no, well, your kids probably aren't even asleep. I wouldn't go upstairs for anything
Maybe.
right now.
They might be. I don't really know for sure. I've stopped hearing noises, so that's something. But Liberty of London is apparently not in the Fabric District. It's somewhere else. But it is within
It's
a
like
4-minute
downtown.
it's in a 4-minute walking distance of Cupcake Gemma's bakery, which is Crumbs and Doilies. And my daughter is turning 10 when we're gone. And she and I watched her videos every single week from like preschool until probably at least first or second grade. And we learned to bake like watching her. She's got a new book out, and so I'm hoping to get like a signed copy of her book and bring home some desserts. And I've heard that frosting is somewhat controversial with TSA. So I'm gonna need to get a brownie and a couple of cupcakes just in case they make me take the frosting off.
Wait, so can you get like some breast milk containers and just fill it with some butter?
I mean, I have her buttercream recipe and it's turns
Oh,
out pretty good, but I'm
I
hoping they
mean,
let
maybe,
me bring
you
it
know,
over as is. That's my goal, is to
that's,
just be able to do
yeah.
that.
I'm kind of a not so closeted nerd in general. So, museums and things like that would be fun to be able to see. But first fabric,
First fabric. I think the
and
Victoria and Albert
then
would be a
some
good one.
sort of, you know, tour, whatever, to see the big things in case you never get to go again, you know?
I do think we should try to hit Big Ben and Buckingham
Yes,
House
that makes sense. Maybe we
and
could take one
the
of those cute
London
little
Bridge.
bus tours.
Maybe. There's got to be
We
some.
can, yeah, we'll dress up like fancy ladies.
I have an assortment of silk scarves and imitation silk scarves.
Oh, you know what? I guess I do too, because I inherited all of my grandmother's.
I purchased 2 pairs of flats today, and that so I could start breaking them in.
Us
'Cause
and
I
our
have no
shoes. It's
dressy
always a
flats.
shoe show.
Yes. So I've been wearing those around the house today. But
I was
I'm
starting to think
excited
about
chilly when we
shoes
get
too.
there. So
It's like, I don't think Crocs are exactly what they're looking for when they say wear
probably
something
not.
closed toe.
That's probably not going to be acceptable in the dining hall on the fancy nights. You're My Little
Why
Pony.
not? My Little Pony Crocs.
Yes.
I mean, I have Barbie Crocs too. What do you think about that?
I mean, oh,
No.
she's showing off another one. That is really cool, Annette.
She's got a lot of projects. I have a lot of projects that I need to finish. I
So
kind of had high hopes of pulling out one of these quilts I basted while we did our so we did a little retreat, but it was basically just us hiding in an Airbnb.
away from our children for the week.
Yeah.
So we put stuff in.
And it was worth it.
It was.
If anybody has a buddy to go do something like that with, do it. Because it was so fun. I let Stephanie cook all the stuff from her garden in exchange for paying for the place to stay.
I took care of the
And oh my gosh, she can cook.
I can't cook.
She
A lot
can
of it
cook.
was canned stuff too that I'd canned over the years.
I was shocked. I had no idea
I can cook.
she can cook. Well, I mean, I knew you could cook, but like, you
I
know,
think I made you bread from scratch too.
you did.
And what else did I bring out?
Oh my gosh.
I had
The
made
sauce.
like a tomatillo. Oh yeah, I made pizza sauce. That was canned actually, but that was from tomatoes from my garden.
And the cheese
Um,
ball things. I know you didn't make the cheese ball things, but they were
What were oh yeah, they're
sorry,
called
I don't know the real names.
Stanfell.
What are they called?
Buffalo balls. It's actually pronounced buffalo, but it's more fun to say buffalo.
Buffalo balls.
Yes, they're
We
fresh
had the
mozzarella.
buffalo
They're
balls.
balls. They're good and
We had
thick.
the
Sandwich
big the
mix.
big
No,
cheese balls that aren't the ones that you get in the container with like the fluffy orange cheese on it.
are not. We had
No.
basically a antipasta tray that we ate off all week for stuff. But
It was
maybe some
really,
good
really
stuff.
good. Yeah, I ate better those couple of days than I probably, you know, haven't eaten that well again. Well, I went on that cruise, so they fed us pretty well.
This is why we need to do one of these episodes from your kitchen where we bake something.
Oh my gosh. You want to see something funny? You should watch me cook. So my mom was a terrible cook. Like so much so that when we would have family get-togethers, they would be like everybody would, bring something and they're like, "Pat, just bring some money."
That's made her feel awesome, I'm sure.
Oh, I mean, well, she's like, "I could bring my potato salad," and everybody's like, "No," because it had so much onion in it that it was basically onion salad, really. Um, and she didn't really care. I mean, she didn't want to cook anyways, and so you can imagine growing up with my mom, like I felt like a good piece of bread out of the bag was like a great thing. I used to eat cream and mushroom soup out of the can, not cooked. I love that
Oh,
stuff.
man. Not
I
even
know.
like diluted in anything.
Mm, no, no, just straight out of the can. Yeah, I know. I
No
was
wonder you
loved
tell
and
me to eat
taken
ramen
care of,
broth.
but I am still kind of like, yeah, that kid. I just don't. My husband likes to eat, and so it works out great because I'm like, oh, I'm not hungry, and then he'll cook something, and I'll be like, well, yeah, if there's a little extra, I'll have some.
That works.
It does.
So the other thing we're supposed to be doing is we're supposed to be working on our Tula Novas in all of like
Hmm.
the downtime. So that's why I'm surprised you haven't. How prepped is yours? Because
It's not.
mine is
Not prepped.
very
But then
prepped.
again, I am constantly prepping pieces and stuff like that. The problem is that I really want to fussy that and I want to do it right. And
I'm
so
seeing it right now.
I'm also making it up as I go because
Oh yeah, you're not doing the
I'm
original.
just I'm just using stash. So I haven't quite decided for my stars what I want. Um,
You have
is my
40 days to
quilting
figure it out.
Yeah, I know. I'll figure it out like the night before. I have
You're
learned
gonna
what I can bring
panic.
on a plane and such. I did bring a rotary cutter and all my supplies to Antarctica.
You
Um,
bring a rotary cutter to Antarctica?
oh yeah.
I
You
didn't
don't
know.
bring your rotary cutter to Antarctica? What's wrong with
I
you?
mean, I only bring it because I'm teaching on a cruise. I probably wouldn't otherwise be bringing a rotary cutter anywhere.
Well, you never know when you need to protect yourself.
I guess. TSA
Or
might have
cut a
something to say
pizza
about that.
roguely, whatever it has to be. Um, yeah, I brought all my stuff to cut other pieces and things like that, but I yeah, I'll get to it. I don't know. I got to feel inspired. At least I have that much out. So that's more
Something.
than, yeah. And
Another
yeah, we'll
project
see.
Chantel was considering for today was ugly goose clothes.
Oh, yes, I can't wait. So I should probably get my phone out for this.
You do. You need to show everybody.
Yeah, so I like anything funny.
She likes to
And
live, but
I
Chantel's a
love
very
to laugh.
designer. So she'll come up with something ridiculously quirky and silly, and then it will look absolutely fantastic whenever it is.
It'll work, but
Yes.
no, everybody hears my like pipe dreams and they're like, sure. And then they actually end up working out and they're like, what? So
Chantel
this is
found
my
it gorgeous.
this is my goose. He doesn't have a name yet, but I found him in the bushes at the last house we owned. Um, and he needs a paint job really bad. But I have been looking for quite a while to find an old goose. Like, these are the things that in like the 90s everybody dressed their goose like for the holidays.
I think they still dress their geese because I ran
Yeah,
into
what?
one at the
Not the
craft store once.
millennials.
Yeah,
I mean, so I found this pattern at a thrift store. I love to thrift. And I finally found one. I paid 50 cents for this pattern. And hey, the pieces are already cut, by the way.
that's perfect.
Not for the mailbox. You can make a mailbox cover, which might be infuriating to my neighbors. So I might consider it just to make them feel a little awkward. Um, But yeah, there's a lot of good options here. And so then I was like, well, then I need to paint the goose. So I think I'm gonna give him a backstory. I think I'm gonna paint him pink and have him believe that he's actually a flamingo that lives in Hollywood. And that, he's in different plays and events. And so I'm going to dress my goose up. Mind you, our garden is terrible. I also can't garden. So, when we moved to this house, we moved all these garden statues that came from the last house that those owners had left behind to here. And John just plopped them all in the front garden area. But the garden's terrible. So it looks like we have a dead animal cemetery in the front yard.
I am doing marketing for a garden center right now, Chantel. So my garden also looks pretty terrible because I kind of ignored it last year when things got crazy. But hence, just discovering
Well,
carrots.
you have potential. I mean, the only potential I have for my garden is making clothes from my dead animal concrete figures on my
I'm
front
just
lawn.
saying, we could have a day where we dig in the dirt, and that your kids would love it, and so would mine.
I don't dirt, number one. I don't dirt. It's just not for me. That's probably why I don't cook. I don't like getting dirty. I
It can
don't.
be fun though. You
I-
know what we should do? We should plant a flower garden that looks like a quilt block.
Okay, well, maybe you can get me on board there.
I
But
can
I'm
get you
thinking
talking
maybe
about
I'm
that.
going to make a whole bunch of Lego flowers and just shove them in the dirt.
I mean, that's one way to do it.
Again, everything can be an art installation in my mind. So yeah, so after I went to Augustana with her, I did interior design and architecture and designed toy departments for a while. And then I had children because that's what you do when you move to central Missouri. And you can't find a job. So you're like, hey, let's start the family. And then I've been doing that for pretty much the remainder of it. And yeah, so I see everything as an opportunity to be an art installation. So I mean, if I could figure out plants that aren't too needy,
There's
But
lots of plants that are too needy.
I
You
have to be
native
excited about
perennials.
something to do it. I have to be like thrilled about something in order to have the passion to do it. So as Stephanie and probably anybody who's ever met me knows, I clearly have ADHD. I'm a very, very hyper person. And I'm also a very clever person. So when you combine those, you end up with really interesting things that you make and do. And that can be really fun and all, like making your animal garden into a clothing line of animal clothes for your garden, since you can't do plant.
So this is what I think should happen. In the fall, we should buy a crap load of tulips, all different colors, but keep them separated. And then we can plot out like the quilt design and
Oh, that would be
bulbs
fun.
in. And then we just cover them all over with the dirt. And then when they grow up the next year, you'll have all these tulips and they'll emerge as a giant quilt block.
She's speaking in colors, so I get it now.
See?
It's not in plants, it's in color, it's in design, so I can do
Yep.
that. Yeah, okay, I can do
It's
that.
going to take a lot of tulip bulbs. But I do have a
I-
collection now. So we can get you some tulip bulbs.
Well, John's sister works in horticulture at the University of Minnesota.
Doesn't
Which
his
is just
parents live on a
hilarious.
farm?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
no, they don't live on the farm. They have the family farm.
Okay.
I don't know. I just don't do dirt. It's nothing against the dirt.
There's these things called gardening.
I don't like dishes either because then I have to touch the.
No,
We
no,
have to know the cat's name
it
and
sucks.
for the cat. That's perfect.
Ah, I want to see the cat again. Where did he go?
Right in front of
I don't know.
you.
Oh, she's
Yeah,
probably
well.
on gallery view.
I'm on some type of other view. I don't know how to do this. I was clearly a parent during all of the when everybody figured out how to do. There's the kitty.
She wants to say hi to everyone.
Hey.
Does she help you sew?
Oh yes, she tries to cut with me too.
Oh, that
Tails
hurt.
and paws
I-
and-
Scary.
This
Yeah.
sounds very emo.
Well, I am pet sitting right now, so I have 5 cats and 4 dogs, and
Oh
I haven't
gosh,
done much in the last 2 days.
you have a full house. Chantel has 4 dogs, and even she's shocked.
Well, everybody
Yeah.
went on vacation and left me with their animals, so
Well, then you should leave them and come on vacation with us.
right.
There we go.
Do it. Oh my
Just
gosh, the
charge
cat
them the
butt.
equal amount of whatever it is to have a suite on the cruise. And
So this is what I'm doing. This is
What
my
you got?
pattern
oh, that's
Oh,
cool.
cute.
I love
Or-
like the double block design in there.
with the herringbone.
Yes,
I've actually never done pinwheels. Can you believe that?
they're not horrible.
I made
Sure,
I
one
just
inch.
haven't.
I made 1 inch pinwheels by accident,
Ooh.
and a friend of
Stephanie
mine.
Brennan is in the house.
Yay!
Stephanie used to be the one to answer all your emails. So if you've been annoyed by me by not replying to an email, it's
It
because I
was not me,
have
Stephanie.
I no longer have the Stephanie B. It's just me, and I'm bad at it.
That's awesome. You're fine.
No, I'm bad at it. I'm fully aware that
miss-
there are things that I'm good at, and there are things that I am not, and that is one thing that I'm not good at.
So this is one of the blocks.
I see half cat tail. He's like, no,
No.
you can't see
He
these.
like matches it though.
No.
Like
He
if you put
does.
cat hair on it, it'll still look good.
Cat socks. Get. Get.
It's just
That was-
like the cat on the back of your machine, honestly. It's just
Yes.
doing. He's like, do this move, do this move.
So is this one your cat or a babysitting?
Yes. No, this one's mine. So
Okay.
she's my usual. But this one's there. Now you can see it.
That
It's
is really adorable.
Oh, that's cute.
I love that fabric.
it's Midnight Garden by
Okay.
Venertex.
Okay.
It has the silver like iridescent.
The metallic on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That metallic is very hard to hand sew through, by the way. So if you're doing a paper piecing, English paper piecing project, like I always seem to be doing at any one point, yeah, don't put that in a seam. You'll be sad. You'll just push the needle right through the back end of your finger. Ask me how I know.
I think you
I guess I could
probably
show off what I'm doing. This is
That's
I'm
good.
doing a little baby quilt.
That is very cute.
It's not my typical colors.
cute.
It is actually not very typical at all for me, but a lot of custom quilting. So, you know, baby better appreciate.
Baby's gonna puke and pee on it, and that's
The
okay.
baby is now 18 months old. I started this when the baby was born. I
It's
I
I
have
am-
a 2-year-old.
I'm fussy
Oh.
cutting more things. You know, I think you do really well with English paper piecing because it's something you can do with the kids,
Yeah.
you know, and supervising. Someday when they can all entertain themselves, you might find a new love that you
I
can
think
do
I
as well.
actually I get anxious sometimes when I pick up a big project and I come down to sew it because I'm like, oh my gosh, what if I don't have enough time, this or that? But there's something about English paper piecing where it's like, I just have to take this one little bite of a huge elephant, right? To eat the elephant. So that's essentially how you eat an elephant. But I struggle a little more when it comes to,
the big things.
you know, some of these quilts won't take that long actually to make if I sat down at my sewing machine and cut them all up. But no, the English paper piecing just doesn't seem as daunting because I don't ever plan on finishing them, maybe.
I think you need to figure that out at some point.
Yeah, it's all right. I
Maybe
mean,
we can keep you all accountable.
oh, I don't need to be accountable for those. I might get anxious about it.
Oh yeah, that's no good.
So,
Like
you know,
me
we're just,
and filming things right now.
I just want to finish all my whips and finish anything that needs to be quilted because you saw the
Okay.
amount of tops that I need to finish.
I feel like we need to have a come to Jesus moment because not all these have been started. Some of them are just things that are together to become a project someday. But this is my wall, and that is a 7-foot shelf filled
It
with
is.
scrapbook bins. And that's garment projects, that's quilt projects. It's a lot of projects.
Is it stuff that
Or-
has been started or wants to be started?
It's a mix. A big
Because
mix.
that's very different.
A
I have
lot
a
of it
drawer of things that
has
have been
been started.
started.
I'm looking right now. Started and almost done. Started all ready to sew together would take like an hour. Started, not finished, started, not finished, started, not finished. Wants to become something. Started, not finished, started, not finished. I'm looking at one right now that's from my honeymoon English paper piecing or a Hawaiian applique. That's not started or not finished. Yeah, it's a lot of
Hawaiian
started, not
applique.
finished.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
I wanted to learn how to do it when I was in Hawaii. So
I got a few books on that. So
I
I
have
hoard
multiple books too.
old quilting books. Like,
They
yeah,
have a
but
lot of
that,
those
yeah,
in the Hawaiian bookstores because I know they'll sell to people like me.
people like you.
That was a really fun trip because I had mapped out all of the quilt shops that were going to be nearby when we were going
And the cat. Sorry, the cat just, he was
Hey,
showing
cat's
us
awesome.
side.
And so like one day I just cut through a piece that I had already done. He's all mangled.
This happens every single time we talk, by the way. This is not just because we're filming this. Every single time, like every couple minutes, we're like, oh, I did that wrong. Oops, I wasn't paying attention.
But so like we went to go see the volcano and there was like a quilt shop nearby. And I was like, honey, let's go this way. And he's like, why? And I'm like, let's just turn this way. And sure enough, then there's a quilt shop and he knew what we were about to do. But I set the tone very early on in the marriage of what to expect when you take me somewhere. That there was going to be a quilt shop trip at some point.
That's true because you started cool. I mean, you're sewing quilting. It's funny, we never talked about sewing or
No,
quilting or anything in college.
I think
That never came up.
I made my curtains in college in like my senior year place. And I hemmed my skirt. I knew how to sew. I knew basically how to quilt. And then when I graduated, and I was very busy in college, I did a ton of things in
Me
and out of
too.
the classroom. And so then when I was just working 40 hours a week, I was just bored to tears. And so I'm like, probably my friends will start hem baby soon. I'm going to learn this quilting thing a little better. And a year and a half into it, I finally figured out what the hell a 1/4 inch seam was. And it wasn't the 3/8 inch seam that, came with the standard presser foot. That changed my life.
Well,
Probably
right. I
wouldn't
mean,
be
as
here
long as you're
today.
doing squares, you're good with not having a 1/4 inch seam. As soon
Yeah.
as you try to throw a triangle in the mix, it's like, wait, what?
I know. And they would all be messed up and they wouldn't like fit together right. And I could never figure it out. And, I designed my first quilt during that time period for my husband that he still uses like daily.
Which I love
It
that
is
story
shreds. It is shreds right now.
because you did not strip piece that.
No, I didn't know what strip piecing was. And so I had probably hundreds of just little squares
And then
that
she put them in a pattern that honestly,
Yeah.
if you had strip pieced it,
it would have
like
gone so much
it would have
faster.
been done.
And I would like lose squares. I didn't know where they had gotten to. And I had a puppy at the time. And then I found like them trail through the house.
Which puppy was it?
That would be Sophia.
Sophia. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yep. She was,
I have a picture with me with Sophia.
yeah, in the back
Actually.
of my car during a
Yep.
pledging. But
Yep. It was probably me and Salte singing from Aristocats
we have
in the
a
back
lot
of your
good
car.
memories,
Oh my goodness.
but in college. But yeah, I just was bored. That was really all it was. I was bored. And I needed something to do, and I don't sit still well. So this was something I could do with my hands. And
You are always busy but driven. I'm busy but chaotic. So
you can do both.
I'm
a tad bit chaotic right now, Chantel. Let me tell you.
I mean, I'm
Life is
chaotic,
crazy.
but like if I can get excited about something, I can kill oh my god, the cat. The cat's the best.
The cat is just so fun.
I'm happy with the
They're
cat.
lovely.
I mean, I don't have a cat. I don't need a cat to help me sew, but your cat is welcome anytime.
We had a cat for like 2 years, and it's
Yeah.
litter box lived in my sewing area because that was the only place we could keep it away from the dogs. And my husband was allergic, but he was like dealing with it. But my mother-in-law was like, she said she was definitely allergic. And like we were having Lily. So I'm like, well, we can't like not allow her into the house because we have this cat. So we had to find a new home for it. But it would always be like jumping out, ruining videotapes because like I was filming in like her lair
Right.
and it was pretty funny.
I'm looking for my hand sewing stuff. So John brought this whole bin of things down for me.
Before
In a
after
panic.
he almost sliced off his finger.
Yeah, it was after he almost sliced off his finger, but he was more concerned at that point about how he was going to get the kids to bed because they didn't have their sleep stories or whatever. So then I was trying to fix his phone. There's the cat again.
We love
And so then I was trying to fix his phone for him, and then I got it just got flushed. There it is. It's over here. Make it work. My calendar wall over here.
It's why we do it.
Pat wants to be a part of the show.
He does. Or she. Is he or she?
It's a she.
She's
She
watching.
might-
She knows it's fun.
Blame her.
I think
She's
I
not
cut
physically
almost
picture
everything
of
from this. There we go. What am
All
I
right. Well, I
doing?
guess I'm hand sewing this binding down now because
There you go.
we're gonna make it work.
You are gonna make it work.
Yeah.
I
Besides,
started
it's not like
watching that show with Angela.
I used to
who's
watch that show with my
9-year-old
mom.
Who she likes to sew, but like in small chunks. Like the attention
Iron
span
dude.
is just not there for more than like an hour. And
Yeah.
but she's fun. We were trying to make, I've started taking a class, but I haven't like gotten too far into it, about making your own trouser pattern, which I took specifically to make for her because she's very small. Like,
Lanky too.
she's tall. She's got like my husband's height, but she is just very slim. Always has been from like the day she was born. And so nothing fits her. It's so hard to find her pants that fit. And so we're gonna try and figure it out because she has to wear like uniform pants and they're not like a specific uniform, but they have to be like certain colors. And I have stuff for it, but I just need to actually like make it for her. But
Yeah, I have a lot of stuff for a lot of things. You know how many Stashing with Stephanie kits I have?
I'm sure a few.
Just a few. We're gonna go with just a few.
This is my fabric after I cut out.
That is what fussy cutting is all about, guys.
It
And now
100%
you can
is.
be, looks like something out of the Flintstones.
I don't even know if I want to keep this. I feel like
Oh, you do. There's
Sure.
so many additional non-fussy cutted pieces out of that. You know how many
Yeah,
diamonds I
but
can make
I
out of
don't-
that?
I don't want to play with that, Chantel.
I volunteer as tribute
Okay.
for that.
I will give it to you.
Thank you. Yay.
I'll put it in your pile. I don't know. Once it gets to a certain point, I just don't feel like dealing with it anymore.
Well,
Like, I've
that's
had my
true,
fun
but
with the
then-
fabric. Somebody else can play with that now.
I just bought even more patterns because clearly that's what I need for paper piecing.
You were at QuiltCon. It's easy to get carried away.
Oh my gosh, it was an opportunity. So I'm working on Tales of Cloth. Jody makes some of the best English paper piecing products you could find. She's great.
One of her classes, Chantel.
I did not take any of her classes, but I follow her online, and her tutorials on how to do it are just
I
they're
took her
great, and
class.
they open, and she's just kind of like I don't know if there's really, I didn't take any classes, but like you read through her stuff and it's more like, don't worry so much about how you're doing it. You'll kind of figure it out because everybody has a different technique.
Her
That's what it
class was
comes
really
down
fun.
to.
You should try to take it next time if she's there. I took her
Oh,
class.
you did take her class. That's right.
We talked about that.
I forgot about that.
Did you guys meet
I
at
didn't know it was
QuiltCon?
going to be hers though. I don't know if she's going to teach again. So
Did you guys meet at QuiltCon?
yes,
Yes.
Cool.
yes. We were adjacent sewing machine friends.
Yeah, and
That
then
is the
like
best way to meet people.
We were in a good
And
corner
then-
over there.
that was a good time.
It really was.
So I was like between appointments earlier today. And I stopped at the coffee shop to work for like an hour because I didn't want to go home and make my dogs crazy. And I happened to meet a like up and coming artist who's trying to open a gallery here in the Quad Cities. She was meeting with some people who are, you know, can help make that happen with the city. And I noticed her pants right away. I was like, this is awesome. Those pants are amazing. I wonder where she got. And then I'm like trying not to eavesdrop, but I'm like right next to them, small coffee shop. And so I end up hearing that she has used her art to have these pants made. And I'm just like, this is free spirit. This is
Oh, it's so cool.
100% free spirit. And so we've been texting each other all night. I've introduced her to the folks at Free Spirit who can make it happen for her. And like, she's like totally thrilled and ecstatic. And my husband's like, who are you texting, Chantel? And I'm like, he's like, you're gonna see her all night. I'm like, actually, I made a friend today. And like, he just like, he's such an introvert. He just like does not, he cannot contemplate making a friend and then texting with them all night, like later that same day.
Particularly at a coffee shop. Like,
yes.
Aren't coffee shops where you mind your own business? Like, no,
they're not.
No?
You make new friends.
Not when you wear cool pants.
All right, we have Darla coming in, and we have a Wayfaring Stranger. Hello from New Hampshire. New Hampshire. Which one is it? I'm not sure.
Hampshire.
And also Claudia P has said that cat is Chantel's squirrel. I love it.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Chantel has a lot of squirrels, but that's what I love about her.
Yeah, I do have a lot of, yeah. That's okay. At least I know I have them.
It's all good.
I got my nuts in a row.
The other side of my machine says measure once, cuss twice.
Oh, yeah.
That's good. Chantel and I did have a discussion about how many swears we were okay with saying because
Yeah, we tried to go over.
Oh.
I look at it though.
My husband has been known to throw a few words out there, you know,
I have to
daily.
remind my husband every time I'm on speaker with the children. Like, honey,
Yeah. Well, now our kids are like, oh, daddy said this word. Daddy said the S word. Daddy said, you know, because they're like that age.
My
And,
4-year-old said the S word at Catholic preschool. And I got taken aside by the teacher. And I was like, I've been
I don't know
trying
where
really
she
hard
heard
not
that.
to curb it, but my husband's not so good at that. And I was like, and she says the F word too sometimes, but we're gonna really work hard on it. So I finally got her to quit saying it. But then if she hears it, she'll say, did that person just say whatever in her little 4-year-old voice? I'm just like, yeah, but we don't say that word. Because like she'll hear it on, I don't know, like a song or something. And I'm like, oh my
Yeah,
God.
did that person just say that? Yeah, I know.
This is
Kids
the
are funny
very
like that.
worst thing that could come out of your mouth and the most embarrassing thing that could possibly happen to me. But
Oh, well,
not
you
good.
know,
Out of the mouth.
we can blame it on the husbands. It's
We
fine.
can for sure. Fussy cut bunny. He barely fits.
Oh, I love that
cute.
fabric line. I don't have much of that. I mean, I
Here's
have
a-
like tiny little squares
They're
of
called
that.
folders.
Oh, here's another one.
Yeah.
You're right. They are my squirrels.
So how
I
many
really
cats
like
in your house right
animals.
now?
Right now I have 5.
Oh gosh. 5 cats and how many dogs?
4.
I have,
Yay.
that's Chantel's every day. I've
Yeah.
had up to 4.
5 cats is tough. We've had 5 cats in the house for a while, but because my daughter, we had her 2 cats, but they are now not
Nobody
here.
wants to see her butt.
So we're back down to 3.
It's the cat walk. You got to see the butt as they walk away.
Well,
It's part of the show.
Yeah,
Two
it's
of
their
them
favorite
are-
part to show off.
2 of them are 6-month-old kittens that have yet to go to the vet.
Hang on, say that again. You cut out.
2 of them are 6-month-old kittens that have yet to go to the vet.
Oh,
Okay.
the 6-month-old kittens.
So, yeah, we've been having fun because my cats are 10 and 16. So we have we're sitting our ways and we don't go anywhere. We just lay around all day. And then you add this
Kitten
to
thing.
kittens and They're not happy.
We have two
Yeah.
sets of dogs, really. So we have our two old little dogs, and then we have our two younger big dogs.
Uh,
And so it almost feels like we have two dogs, but it's just two groupings of dogs, categories of dogs, really.
yeah.
But I love my dogs. So I'm actually really surprised that my cubby Wubble isn't down here.
I'm
He's
not
my
sure
boy.
Remy is-
Hey,
Well,
like
Chantel,
sleeping
so
on the
what's the
couch.
story with the cats behind you? Because you said you're not a cat person.
So I am not a cat person because I am allergic to cats.
Ah.
However, Laurel Birch is actually, I mean, I'm pretty sure Stephanie, you've sold a lot of that
a lot of
fabric.
Laurel Birch, and I've designed a lot with. I have a Laurel Birch shelf too.
Yeah.
What
Do
is
you
that?
really? So when I
Oh, yeah.
was young, my mom and grandparents redid my bedroom, clearly in bright, colorful colors because some things never change. And I basically only work in bright, colorful colors. So this quilt is a real like random one for me. But that was the picture that was above my bed all those years, the rainbow cats, the Laurel Birch rainbow cats. And then when my mom passed away, I went to go get, all the stuff and things like that, and I could not find that print. And I knew it was in the back of a frame somewhere, and it was just gone. And so I went online, not expecting to actually find it because it's been out of print since, I don't know, 1994. And somebody had basically a perfect one for well less than a quarter of what it should have been. I mean, it was meant to be. That's all I could say. So I was able to get my childhood picture of my cats,
That's
my
awesome.
rainbow cats. And yeah, it's still to this day basically all the colors I work in. I'm an animal person through and through. I'm just like allergic to all the animals. That's fine, but
that's your way of saying no.
yeah.
That you can't have them. Enjoy them.
Oh yeah, I like watching animals, and yeah, I melt for animals. So we lived in Chicago, and we lived in a high rise for about 4 years total, two different high rises. And it was hilarious because like you get locked in the elevator box with everybody and then you get to like pet their animals. Like, is there a better dream than that? I didn't even know my neighbors' names, but I knew all the animals' names. I knew everybody's dog's names. I knew what they liked, and my dog Sasha, who's 15, she hates me because I had children. So I really let her down. Yeah, I really let her down. And so she will only give me attention as long as it's dark in the bedroom and it's bedtime. And so we have an agreement that I can hold her during sleep, but we don't talk about it.
I have that same relationship with one of my cats.
Yeah, it's like, and when it gets daylight, she has to give me this dirty look and like slink away from me. She's a dachshund corgi, so I mean, it's a true slink and a dirty look.
Yeah. The ground.
She is very disappointed to be associated with me, and I'm like, your dad had a big part in the making of those children, but she won't listen. And as my husband likes to say, he did his part happily. So
It's all good. We have, in addition to Remy, we have two basset hounds, and one of them, Jelly Roll, we got as a puppy because the dog we had before her, we rescued a dog after its 15th birthday. It had been born at the shelter, so they knew exactly how old it was for the microchip, but the info was no longer correct for its tags, so they couldn't get a hold of the owner. And I was like, yeah, no, you're coming home with me. So she lived for like a year.
Nothing wrong with having a bunch of squirrels.
I know, right? She lived for like a year, and then
It's all good.
oh, I hear myself in the background
yeah,
earlier.
you gotta mute the YouTube if you're on Zoom. But
Not me, but
otherwise you hear it both ways. But so my daughter took it really hard. That was like her dog. And so I said we could get a puppy the next time. So we found a really good breeder that really cared about her animals and got Jelly Roll. And that was like Lily's like bestie. They like grew up together. It was so cute. And they were both
Jelly
babies.
Roll grew faster than Lily, though.
She did grow a lot faster than Lily. Jelly Roll used to sit in Lily's lap when she was 9 months old, and now like Lily can just totally lay out on top of her. And they do. They
Jelly
snuggle.
Roll's like an ottoman.
Yeah, she's huge. She's a 70-pound basset hound. And
Wow. That's
so
But
big.
she's like this far off the ground. It's just the cutest thing.
she's huge. But so then when her mom was done breeding, we took her mom, and I thought it was gonna be this lovely reunion, mother-daughter back together again. I had no idea who each other are to each other, but they have become like the best of friends and they snuggle all the time. And so it's like those two have each other, and then Remy's my little shadow because I think he like, I don't know, I think he can scent, I must smell like my grandma or something because like immediately he knew I was the one to be by when we took him. Yeah.
My boy dogs are different than my girl dogs about that, though. My
Yeah.
boys are like, my sensitive ones. And my girl dogs have always been the like, I don't know, the fearless, but at the same time, like controlling ones. They have control over the situation. I don't know, I guess it's kind of like men in general.
Maybe.
They have no control. They need the woman. No.
I want
We
to
let
say
them
hi
feel in
to Wayfair and Stranger. She has also made a fabric cat for a quilting room, even though she's allergic. And she also has 2 basset hounds. So you know the struggle. Like an actual howl got started in my living room the other day, and I tried to get a video. It was just so funny.
Oh my
And
gosh.
they were very loud. And Pat Ada says hi, and also Sylvia Martinez. So we must still have new people popping in. Maybe
Hey,
I'm-
well,
Oh.
it's different times in different places.
This
So,
is true. It's only
Florida's gone to
like
bed, but California's getting started.
it's 9:30 over in California. Chantel and I
Oh my
often
gosh.
were up very late.
We're gonna stay up till tomorrow, Steph. Let's pretend it's New Year's or something.
I mean,
Yeah.
good. And then my husband will
party
come
like
down
it's
and look at me and be
1999.
like, "You coming up?"
I know.
I
No.
get that a lot. Like, no,
Yeah.
one time.
Are you
to be-
just talking to Chantel? You coming up?
You know the answer to this question.
Well, the nice thing is that 3 of the 4 dogs turn 6 tomorrow.
Sorry, that didn't come in clearly either.
Yeah, that didn't come in very clear.
3 of the 4 dogs that I have turn 6 tomorrow because they were born on National Puppy Day.
Oh gosh.
Is tomorrow National Puppy Day? That's what we're staying up for, huh?
All right, we got to bring it in.
And they're all from the same litter. So,
All right, Stephanie,
Different
what are you
litters?
working on?
same litter.
Stephanie Brennan,
Wait,
can you hear me?
What? Huh?
What are you working on? Stephanie
I-
used to work with us. She designed Cosmos,
And a
and
homegirl.
she taught the garment class, and she actually has a degree in fashion design and costuming, right?
Well, the degree is just fashion design, but like the industry that I wanted to go into was like costume and formal and such. And I'm actually working on a garment right now, working on my Easter dress.
There you go.
So do you
Sweet.
like
a
do
bit
you like
easier.
the other Stephanie, the new Stephanie that came on? Do you like to do like cosplay type outfits?
I haven't done cosplay. I did more like I wanted to do like prom, bridal, and then I was really involved in like show choir and color guard and dance and do dance stuff or costuming for stuff like that.
Fun.
I did some theater stuff at Augie, actually. I worked at the sewing some of the costumes, but they found out I was a decent hand sewer, regardless of how I felt back then about that. So I had to quit that job.
I had no idea that existed. I wish I
Oh
had.
yeah. Oh, they were
would've been
awful to
so
me
much
because I
fun.
wasn't an actual theater nerd. So, I was in my own nerdiness. It was more the band nerd, I guess. I don't know what I was. I was just bebopping around everywhere. Because
Social
that's what I do. One day they told me I had to pick a major, and I'm like, wait, what? Can't just like stay here forever taking each class when I want? That sucks.
I have no responsibilities or bills to worry about except how much beer
I
is
just
gonna
want to
cost.
be responsible for what happens in 10 weeks when I take these finals. That's all.
Yeah, pretty much.
Being a professional student sounds amazing.
That would
Well,
be a
John
lot.
did it. He went to 27th grade, we determined.
Oh my goodness.
We're trying to explain how long it takes to, do what John has done. Yeah, it's like 20 or 28th grade. I don't know. Like maybe
It's
that's
a lot.
excessive.
I mean, I feel like if someone's going to operate on you, you want them to have gone to school a long time for that.
It's funny though, the amount of people that I know that went into medicine that I'm pretty sure that based on if I hadn't, you know what I mean? Like I saw these people in their natural environments in college, and now they're real professional people doing real professional jobs. And I'm like, I just can't see it.
One of the wildest people that I knew in our sorority is now like a resource officer at a school where she's like a counselor and has a therapy dog there. And one of the other wild ones is now a nurse with fertility treatments and lives catty corner to me. I'm just like, oh Lord.
Yeah, I know.
Or like there are some really wild ones, like really, really wild, who now have like children. Like we're
Although,
responsible for getting like our sorority put on probation wild. And now they like
Yeah.
they're like have children, and I'm just like,
No, they all turned out like
they
real
turned out
people.
fine.
But I think the thing is that we didn't stifle people from being who they
Yeah.
were. And
I love
honestly, that helps you express yourself better and know what you want.
I needed that like so much at that point in my life. Like,
Yeah, me too.
oh my gosh, to be surrounded by women who did what they wanted
Strong women,
and were like, I
intense
mean,
women.
whatever. Like,
It
that
was
was
great. It was good.
Good pull
And I'm
tags.
so proud of all of them. I mean,
Yeah.
they've all managed their way.
Yeah.
Although sometimes I
Stephanie
laugh
Brennan
at my own
witnessed
path.
that.
What's that?
Stephanie Brennan witnessed that, and the people we kind of collected along the way.
Oh,
And
yeah,
That's great.
fun. You would have fit right in.
Well,
For
hello,
sure.
Mom.
Oh no,
Uh-oh.
you got a little one.
Who's our next guest? We've had 2 cats and a dog. Who's our child guest?
This is my 5-year-old. This is
Hi.
Joanna Grace.
Hi.
Joanna Grace did not recognize me one time when I did not have makeup on because she watches me with videos. And she saw me in real life. She had no idea who I was because I was not dressed like Stephanie.
I mean, to be
Dumb.
fair, if I get dressed up, my son's usually like, "Whoa, Mom, you look different." Like,
So-
yeah.
One of the moms at dance was like, we were like friending each other on Facebook. And she's like, "That's you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I can clean up." This is not how I look on a day to day.
It's like, that's one thing you shouldn't flirt, but thanks for trying to be my friend.
Oh, it was definitely a good thing. She's like, "I just always look like this." I'm like, "Yeah, you know, you
Yeah,
just
well,
put it together a couple times a year, take a family photo. No one knows the difference."
You're not on the camera.
Although we're going to be heiresses on the cruise.
yeah.
You are.
If I can find clothes that fit and are clean at the same time.
I mean, Kohl's, right?
Mount Washmore is working its way through right now, so.
We just have a week's worth right now. I'm very proud of myself.
Oh, well, all the blankets from upstairs have recently gotten thrown down the stairs where they lived at the bottom of the stairs for
It's
about a
time.
week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
So-
only 8:30 in Alaska, Sylvia says, and 9:32
Nice.
in Vegas. And we also have someone from Saskatchewan, Canada.
Nice.
Nana.
Well, welcome.
I know.
We're at the good part of the sewing now, so we're kind of finding our way with this. This is
Recognize someone on
I mean,
there?
it's both
Yeah.
informational early on, but now it's just kind of sew with us, have us as background,
I
or
mean, I
don't
haven't
just talk to
technically
us.
sewn anything. I'm
You-
getting things prepped for our long flights and cruise
How
time.
long does it take you to prep?
A long time.
That's fine. When I start fussing, it becomes this event.
Yes. I mean,
Aye,
I
aye, aye.
did, I had an entire like 3-pointed star that needed to be done, like, or 5-pointed star plus the center at ×3 that I needed to glue down at the start of this. And then I fussy cut everything. And I'm working on cut and gluing that down now. So
Well, I got one side of a binding done by hand now. I
that's pretty
sewed the
good.
binding on and we are getting it down. Hopefully. I'm getting kind of hungry. Stephanie, come over here and make me dinner.
Make you dinner. Be a little bit of a wait. I'm gonna be there till like 1 a.m.
Whatever, I can wait.
We could go bra shopping. Although
I
nobody
know.
would be here to run my children around in the morning, so that could be problematic.
Ugh. God forbid. I could send John that way. No, you don't want that.
Wake up and have a stranger man in their house.
Don't worry. He's a
I'm
dad
sure
to
he's qualified.
I'll be right back.
maybe.
We went
Sometimes we
to
all wonder if we're qualified to be parents, you know?
we went to Chantel's house, not last summer, but the one before, and she had a pool at that house. Annette is heading out. Well, good luck. Have fun. Good night. But so my 3-year-old at the time really loved it because she got to swim. She thought that was the best thing. And then she kept saying, Mommy, I want to go back to your friends. Because she doesn't want to swim in your pool, I think.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, that's like the ultimate compliment from a kid, though. You know what I
know.
mean?
She's
Like
just
they
let me
think
go
you're
to
cool because
Mommy's
you have a pool.
friends.
Well,
Yes.
and then at one point we couldn't find Angela
Or
or
your
Hazel,
child. Yes.
and we had no idea where they were. And
We're
they were
searching the
playing a
entire
prank on
house and
us.
yard.
They are not calling. They're not coming when we call them, regardless of what we're saying,
Or giggling from a hiding spot.
which was very hard for them at that age because what Hazel would have been
I think Angela would have
maybe
been
6,
8,
or
maybe.
5, 4. I don't know. They were hiding in Hazel's bed in a like up in one of the
Under
bunks.
a bunch of stuffies.
They were never gonna leave
We were panicked. Like full on panic.
because they're little girls. They're supposed to laugh when you're like saying stuff, and they were not.
It was scary.
They were serious. They were gonna stay there forever.
They made like best friends of each other though.
I know. They haven't seen each other in a long time, but we moved a little closer. So we moved out of Springfield up towards Peoria. Yeah. We're getting a pool put in. That's the
Oh, they don't need a pool to come over. You have to,
I need a pool to have people come over because I'm not impressing them with my cooking. So
well, I could cook for you. John did
exactly.
good grilling.
He's really good at grilling and he's a great
Had fancy
baker,
juice.
you know. So
Kids were in the-
I'm just saying, you know, for me to entertain people, I need something like that.
You
Because
realize that no matter how good my cooking is, my kids just want chicken nuggets and hot dogs.
maybe that's why I don't cook because
It's not going to get eaten anyway.
what's the point? I like those foods too. So let's just all have chicken nuggets, okay? Now, I also have a taste for the finer things, that's for sure, but you know, nothing wrong with some chicken and whatever sauce. I mean, we have a
Sylvia-
condiment drawer.
Sylvia
have
says
White
my
Castle
kids
up-
survived me.
Do you guys have White Castle up there?
I don't think I do.
I don't think
but-
we do either, although all I can think of is the Harold and Kumar go to White
Maybe.
Castle.
Yes.
They have the chicken rings, and the chicken rings are really good.
Chicken rings.
Yes.
What qualifies as a chicken? A chicken like an onion ring?
No, well, you know, it's probably about the same
Is it-
size.
Is it like that?
Yeah, it's like a little mini donut made of chicken.
How do they do that?
Who knows?
There's a wormhole I'm
Your
gonna
guess
end
is
up
as
on
good as
tomorrow. Now I need to know how chicken rings are made because I just have to hoard all information, and when I don't know. Have you ever watched the Story Bots?
Unfortunately. Actually, that one's not so bad.
That one's not so bad at all.
Was Snoop Dogg on one of them?
Ooh, I don't know.
I think he was.
Leno was on one of the first ones. It's one of those shows that I go in and out of because I'm a parent and, you know, people need snacks. Why do they got to eat all the time? I don't know. Constantly need food. But now I want to know that too. But I feel like there's a Storybots question. How do they make the chicken rings?
So
How do
Sylvia,
they-
do you not have fast food or you just don't eat fast food? I need to know how far out you live. Because that would be far out. Although I do like what I like to do when I have a free weekend, which I haven't for a while, is buy a ton of stuff to like make in bulk, and then I pressure can it, like chicken pot
And then
pie.
she brings it on our thing.
I do, yeah, because then you don't have to enchiladas. Like when things are in season, it's the best time to do it. Like I got tomatillos and made enchilada sauce, and my kid ate that so much.
I don't even know what a tomatillo is.
It's like a green looking tomato. I mean, it's not a tomato, but that's what it kind of looks like. It has
All
like
right,
a
well.
husk around it, and when you take the husk off, it looks like that. No fast food population, 600 people. Wow, that is small. You must
Yeah,
have.
I lived in a
you
town
have
like that. You
quilt
should at least
shop?
have a
How far
gas
is your quilt
station.
shop from here? And Nanamona says, Chantel, you need to make a cheese tray and barbecue hamburgers. You can't go wrong with that.
My cheese tray would literally be like those cheeses I peel the things off of.
Oh my gosh, Sylvia's got to take an access plane or a ferry to get to a quilt shop. You must order like everything online then.
Does the Amazon guy to come to you?
I mean, it's
Because if I didn't
Canada.
have
I think there is
Yeah.
Amazon Canada though.
Well, I want to know. Yeah, I want to know if they have the Amazon guy. Do you guys have the Amazon guys that come in like their own trucks or in the shady white utility vehicles and stuff now? They like don't use FedEx and stuff anymore here.
I think most of mine, I don't know. There is an Amazon fulfillment center near us. I honestly don't order
We
things from Amazon.
all of the vehicles are made in Bloomington, Illinois. And but somehow we don't have one of those vehicles. They like rent some crappy utility van that looks like
That's
it's straight
shady.
from a roofing company
Yes.
to drive around our neighborhood and scare the children or, you know, parents.
Yes.
And then they drop off our packages. Yeah, because we have a fulfillment center near us. And I'm like, can't we just borrow one of those cars that you literally make 35 miles away from here?
Make
So
you
I
look
don't have to have a home alone moment every time I see a van drive up
Well,
to my
I
house.
think okay, so Adam's a UPS driver now. And so I know some stuff. Some of it, those guys are not actual Amazon drivers, they're like contract. So
Mhm.
they're like using their own vehicles or they're in charge of like renting their own. Only USPS. Wow.
But they have to wear a vest.
Do they?
Our guys have to wear a vest and they come from Pekin or whatever. I don't know.
Here's my
Yeah, like the Temu or Timu or whatever
Oh,
that
that's
site
cute,
is.
Stephanie.
try to stand back a little bit. I have
Oh,
pants in-
nice.
Oh, I love that skirt.
Me too.
Very cute.
Thank you. I just need to
Is
hem
it from a pattern or did you just
Yeah,
come
this
up
is
with
from a
it?
pattern. It's from Ellie and Mac, which is a pattern company that I have started to really, really like. I've
We were
made
talking about them like over the summer.
I've made probably half a dozen other patterns now.
Oh,
Wow.
It's cute.
okay. That's something I need to get on. Is it serging or is it sewing?
Yeah, this one is knit, so it does need its serger. They do have woven patterns too, so you can use quilt fabrics or just use a regular sewing machine. Which you can actually use a regular sewing machine with knits too, which I did not know that until like a year and a half ago.
Is it when I
Can't you
told you about
just
the
use a
lightning
zigzag?
stitch?
Yeah, pretty much. I thought you had to have a serger. I had no idea that you could use a regular.
I mean, it's a lot easier with a serger.
Yeah.
It is.
Like
I don't
handy
know how to
down.
use knits.
You have to make sure you have a really large surface to cut it on.
Yes.
Sylvia says she likes your skirt and that Tiffany says she loves it.
Thank you, ladies.
I'm trying to plug in my tablet now because apparently I'm running out of battery.
Yeah, I've had
Website.
mine plugged in the whole time because
Here's
I knew
a-
that was the problem.
There we go.
That's
So
cute.
this is it last night, and it was like way too long. So I chopped 6 inches off of that middle layer.
Yeah.
And now it's a little bit long, but once I hem it, it's gonna be fine.
See, this is my challenge with garments is that I really need to make a muslin because I don't always like the way things fit on me. And I've gotten pretty good at altering stuff because of Angela being so tiny. But it's just, I hate the muslin process. I want to just sew, but I know if I just go straight in with a good fabric, I'm gonna probably mess it up and not like the way it looks. And then it's a lot harder to fix.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
But
I just want to know how to use knits. I mean, I have a serger, but I've always used it for other things. That's
It's
just something I was never trained in knowing how to do.
no.
And then my grandmother would use knits on the sewing machine, but that still freaks me out too. I don't know.
You
It's-
can do
you
it.
can
You
have
have to use a zigzag or there's this lightning stitch. It looks like a little lightning zigzag.
Mhm.
And that's meant for knits. It looks like a straight stitch, but it has stretch to it without being a full-on zigzag.
Or you can use that zigzag stitch. I actually prefer the triple one. The seam itself is a little bit bulkier, I found, and it uses more thread, but it looks a lot nicer.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, my machine only has, 33,000 stitches or whatever in it. So
You do need a knit needle, which is
I do know a ballpoint. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, the ballpoint.
You need
I
that.
have so much information in the head, but actually making it, it's
Just play.
it's
just
the
get a teaspoon.
inertia of
That's fair.
deciding that I'm going to do the project. So, the information just sits there and simmers until I'm basically forced to do the project.
Where you get into overwhelm and then you're afraid to touch it.
Yeah, which basically means I just go to Target.
Just find an old t-shirt and just send it through your machine. Just play.
I am
that's a good idea.
committed to doing my garment projects because I've been sent fabric like for free by the company. So I have to get it done before I go to this cruise.
Maybe that's what I need. I just need people to send me free fabric and then I promise them
Then you have
projects.
to
and
use
then-
it because
Well, that's the thing.
otherwise-
I
not
love doing
effective.
quilt testing because I'm given a deadline and a project, and then I do it because I'm not getting a failing grade. That still bothers me to this day. The fact that I could do poorly. Yeah, no, I'm not going to do poorly. I'm going to ace that project. So there you go. My competitive spirit wins out, and I
There you
will.
go. That's what
Yeah.
we need to do.
All right.
That's what we do.
What am I doing?
So
need some-
who's going to send me a project that has to be done?
You could also make high-waisted pants, Chantel. They're very flattering
Ah,
because I have so much fabric. They sent me double what I needed. We could do this together.
I want shorts.
I'm sure you could turn them into shorts.
Well,
It's
if I mess up enough, they're going to end up being shorts.
Pat has not sewn clothes since junior high. I sew them all the time for my daughters. I'm really I love doing it. I love doing hand finishings on it and really making it look high end. But I just am afraid to do it for me. But I'm gonna have to do it. I gotta get over it and just make it happen.
I
Like,
would
a
love
good,
to.
third of the stuff up there is like projects that I intend to do for like myself. So
Most of my early projects when I started
Oh,
to
that's
sew, they
cute,
were all
Stephanie.
garments.
hey,
Oh,
look what
those are
Stephanie
cute.
did. Those are for her daughters.
These are
That fabric is gorgeous.
That's so
That is-
cute.
That is
Those are
really
beautiful.
I have a question. What's the difference between a cover stitch and a serge, like whatever?
So cover stitch is what you
It works.
use to hem with.
If you look
So-
at the hem on your t-shirt or around the sleeve where you have the 2 stitches on top and then you look underneath and it has all the zigzags, that's a cover stitch. Serge is an overlock that goes over the edge.
And it like seals it and keeps it from fraying.
Yes.
My friend Heather gave me the down low on that. But
After
Does
work,
my machine do them both?
I want one.
probably it
You-
requires rethreading, which is intimidating. But Let's see.
I want
Sylvia
an Eric Ready
Martinez
machine.
says she ferries in every 2 to 3 months and buys in bulk, and fresh stuff comes to town every 1 to 2 weeks. That is crazy. And she also
Do you
failed
love it though?
back. I know somebody who's very prominent in the quilting world and garment design who also failed home ec. They like her teacher said she would never do it. Now she's written like quilting books. So
Nothing like somebody telling you that you can't do it to be able to do it, right?
Yep, for sure. Oh, I'm trying to
I'm
decide.
starting to get tired.
Me too. I feel like we should call it quits at midnight, which is 6 minutes from
Well,
now.
yeah, because it's National Puppy Day. We were gonna make it to National Puppy Day.
Does anybody have any questions for Chantel or I?
Randomness.
Yeah, it could be random, it can be quilting, it can be whatever.
How many cruises have you been on?
To teach, this is my first. I've been on one cruise with my parents when I was like 21. And that was it. And I needed
I've already been on a cruise this
catch.
year. That sounds
Was
so
that your first one
pretentious.
though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, so I got to go to Antarctica, which was incredible. It's always been, ever since I found out that you could go to Antarctica, it's been basically the only bucket list thing I've wanted to do. And they were having a medical conference on board. And it was some radiologists that John did training with. And so his work paid for almost all of his portion
Oh my gosh.
of that cruise. And, I had to pay my portion. And I mean, it was the kind of, this is the kind of thing you either are like loaded and you go on this, or people like saved their entire life to go on a trip like this. Cause it was all excursion based too. So we regularly went out on boats. We did special, like I kayaked like 3 or 4 times out around the glaciers, and we got to go up on the land where the penguins were and things like that.
That's really cool.
It was a really big deal, and the whole thing was just absolutely incredible. But it was small. I mean, there were like maybe 100 guests. There was more staff than there were guests on this thing. And lots of educational opportunities for you to hear from actual historians and geologists, and you got to know the staff, like know them. So now they all know what English paper piecing is, because it was basically me sitting in the bar, like teaching people about English paper piecing while I sat there with my rotary cutter and cut pieces, because
You don't mess around. You really do bring it all.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had to like limit how much I was allowed to bring, but yes, I brought it all. I finished almost that entire paper piece project that I gave at QuiltCon to my swap buddy. But yeah, that's the only other cruise I've ever been on. And it is literally the opposite of like this kind of cruise, where yeah, that was you got to know everybody on there basically, if you wanted to or not.
Yeah, this is going to be a very big boat. We're just one of the activities that are on board.
But that's kind of cool, because like if you want to go with your husband or a friend or whatever, and they're not into the quilty stuff, other people can enjoy the cruise. Like if we wanted to bring our children, which we so wanted to, but we
My
can't.
daughter wants to go someday.
Yeah, my kids were like, "Why are you leaving so much?" And I'm like,
Because mommy
Well,
is a person outside of being
because
a
I literally have to go halfway across the world, and I hear you saying, "Mom."
When we planned our quilt retreat, we were like, we need to be far enough away to where we can't be called home for something.
But like in case we had to.
Yeah. So what'd we do? Like an hour and a half from each of us, or 2.5 from each of us.
Oh, it was like 2.5. Yeah. We had to plan that out strategically, and we wanted to be close to some shops. We
Yeah.
found like the greatest place, actually. We'd totally rent that place again. It worked so well, except for the chairs.
The chairs were, I think we were just too short for the chairs. Is the problem.
The chairs were the worst.
Oh, I know.
You'd sit in
Sylvia
them and
says,
they'd
hello,
like lose
cat.
cats. I don't know where my dog is.
That's-
I'm kind of
that's not the
concerned.
only one.
This one's
Puppy
my
must be.
That's your
Spicy-
kitty.
Oh, oh, what color is that? It's like a whole bunch of colors.
She tore it.
she's a tortie.
Yeah.
And then this is my other tortie. This is my spicy one, Willow, and this is my docile one, Cinnamon.
They got named wrong, didn't they?
Seriously?
Willow sounds like it should be the docile one, and Cinnamon should be the spicy one.
Yeah,
The cats on the
Willow is
screen.
my dog's name. The mama.
they've
Oh,
been
that's, yeah.
they've been sitting over here patiently waiting while I finish sewing for their treat. Right just off camera. So you guys couldn't see them the whole time.
Well, we wanted
would
to see
have
their
certainly
butts. What were
welcomed
you
them.
They're usually not this camera shy. I don't know what
I'm
took them so long.
so disappointed, Gwendolyn? How do you do that?
All right.
Like,
Well,
pet's there the whole time.
we did say we would cut it off at 12. So
12 for
any
us,
other
yeah.
questions? And if not, we're gonna be back next
We'll be
week,
back. And the next
possibly
week.
with my sister, who crochets, and we're working on a project together. That was one of the things I didn't talk about. We're doing a combo project. So
Oh yeah, that was
is fun.
kind of
She's-
the what are we doing for your upcoming projects? Yeah,
I
it's gonna
know.
be really cool. You're doing
I'm,
a sister project.
So she has wanted to do, she does this thing where she like flips fabrics together, right sides, or sews them right sides together and then leaves a hole for turning. And so you have a bunch of these patches, and then you have to hand stitch around it with like some pearl cotton, and then crochet around it into the loops that the blanket stitch makes. And so she said she was wanting one, and this is the fun part of being a like kind of influencer, whatever, in the quilting world.
Famous.
Slightly.
Oh, that's what I say.
Well, you know, I do more than that. People like to come to me
Celebrity.
for a lot of things. But
Famous
anyway,
celebrity.
so I had just done like some patterns for some upcoming designs for Briley Blake, and she found a fabric she liked for Briley Blake. And I was like, hey, I know these people. We might be able to get some stuff for free. So we got her a free fat quarter, and they have, Lori Holt has a line of yarn called Chunky Thread. And so I was like, I gotcha. And so I got all the stuff she needed for free. And she said she could do it fast if I did all the sewing. So I've been hand sewing all these things and mailing her packages every week. So that way she can then crochet around it.
Surprised you didn't send me any to hand sew.
Oh my God, my wrist is like on fire. This is part of the reason why I'm in physical therapy now for it. But it's been kind of fun. But I'm ready for the hand sewing part to be done and just hand it over to her.
We're gonna have to do some tutorials for sure in one of these things about how I keep from having pain when I hand sew, because
Yeah,
I have
I need
figured
tips.
this out.
I
and
need
it's
tips.
It has taken a while because I injured myself pretty early on, and I have terrible wrists. I've broke them and such from roller skating. And no, I've got it all
Mentality
figured out now.
competitive roller skating. I feel like everyone
Yeah.
needs to know this.
Everything that's weird I've done. So, there you go.
I
Yes,
have two-
as an adult.
I have 3 borders left.
Whoa.
Ah, trying to get it done for Easter?
Yeah, it's a banner for church.
Okay.
My grandmother used to do the church banners and stuff like that. They still use them all these years later.
Oh, that's-
Chantel, there's Moon. There's the third one. She made an appearance when the treats came out.
Oh,
Pretty kitty.
A Smoky. Is she a blue
Marisol
Russian?
She's
says
part
she
blue
loves
Russian,
your fur
yeah.
baby.
We don't think she's full blue Russian, but yeah, she's
Got
part
enough. She's got enough steel in her.
She sure does act like one. Oh, she's a Chris.
yeah. See, I don't even understand that there's different kinds of cats. Like a cat, it's like a house cat or not a house cat.
This one is a tuxedo, which is also a
That's
calico. And she has a calico attitude and mentality.
My sister
you're
has
just
3
fancy.
cats, so there might be an appearance made by them if I'm filming at her house because I'm going to be with my parents for the weekend.
My
so
cats are rainbow and they were behind me.
they
You
are.
know, I think I have some of her fabric, Chantel. I'm gonna try to look and see if I can find it.
I have
I love
hordes
that.
of her fabric.
I don't have any of the cat stuff though.
I'm sure I got something.
I made
I need the
Missouri
cat
Star.
stuff.
I made Missouri Star Quilt Company's paws and claws pattern
Mhm.
with tie-dyed cats.
Nice. We have a lot of cat fans in our family. Everybody loves cats, but I'm allergic to them. I love cats too. I loved cats, but my eyes and my allergies and my asthma don't feel the same way.
That's how I
So-
always got it. I
That's
don't know why.
Why does my body have to turn away, adorable animals
And peanuts.
and peanuts? Oh, I developed a peanut allergy after having my daughter Hazel.
Is it just for peanuts or all nuts?
Peanuts, just peanuts.
You know, my mother developed an allergy to caffeine. So no caffeine anything and no chocolate. So I don't know.
Oh, we're
survive.
ending on a sad note.
Although that could be healthy.
We need
Depending
something
on
better.
how much drink.
Yeah, no chocolate's very sad.
Yes.
Oh,
She still
God.
makes us candy every Christmas though. She'll make tons
The
of chocolate.
story is not getting better, Stephanie. It's like a sob story. Like she still makes us candy for Christmas, but she can't have any.
Right.
She's allergic to it,
She is
but she
allergic.
loves us, so she does it.
I've been trying to take these things over, but she just firmly hangs on to them. I make a lot of cookies at Christmas time too.
It's true.
Mm.
I just have to have time for the things that I want to do, which is basically only sewing, roller skating, and playing French horn. So, and making a dead animal farm look cooler in my front yard.
You're funny. I need to see this goose thing that you and
I
I
want to be.
put together.
No.
I can't wait to do my goose. Where's his outfit?
Okay, guys, that's it.
Did you make it already or no? You just had the pattern.
No, I have the pattern, but I mostly want to use it for loose ideas to come up with things.
Mhm.
And sometimes I don't know what monthly I see holidays are overdone. You got to do like book themes or
You can have
You
Harry
know.
Potter, like
I know, right? Like a Professor McGonagall look right there.
that's perfect.
Gazagol. There's a pun there. I can't find it right now, but it'll come. Yeah. I don't know.
I am really getting way too into this fussy cutting right now. You've
Oh,
got
yeah.
bears
You
in the
can't
center of each one of those.
you
and we're
can't
gonna have
stop when you do that. You're never gonna go. Oh, I
straight
know.
up and down on all of these. I'm gonna have Swiss cheese when I'm done with this. Is what's gonna happen.
Well, it's okay. I work with some really tiny pieces often, like the little the 1-inch diamonds, which are really they're not actually. I think they're 3/8. I don't know what they are. They're tiny, tiny. This
I
one
mean,
didn't
what-
come together in the center quite the way I had hoped, but that's okay. When you get it in an entire quilt, you don't notice. Like the Nova is kind of funny because you see it as a medallion, but this is more like a block base. So I'm not so worried.
I will hang on to all my scraps until I actually know that I have all the pieces, and then
I like scrappy quilts, and this is my snapshot quilt block.
Oh, that's
Oh,
cute.
that's cute.
I like that.
And it's all petites. Well, except for the Hancock fabric in the middle, and it's wrinkled, which doesn't help.
Have you been to
Ah.
Hancock Fabrics?
Is there still a Hancock? Oh no, this is like one of
Oh,
the
the
oldest-
actual one in Paducah.
No, I have not.
Isn't the one in Paducah though different than the
Yes.
Yeah,
like it's
Uh,
a different company than the chain was?
they are. The
Michael's-
Hancock was bought by
Michaels.
Michaels. I mean, really, just the name was bought.
Yeah.
Uh,
I remember that Hancock Fabrics because I lived in the Quad Cities. So
Oh yeah,
I lived in
went
your
to-
terrain.
There were two of them to choose from. That's probably where a lot of
The
those
one in
fabrics were.
Moline over there by Miss Mamie's. There's a
Well,
fancy
it's-
place to
That's a
eat.
Joanne's now.
I might be
I
dating
know.
myself, but do you guys remember Cloth World?
I do not remember that one. We did have a Ben Franklin for a while.
Oh
And
yeah.
those are interesting because they actually have quilt shop fabric in them. They're run as like their own little independent store.
There was one in the Quad Cities on the
Yeah, there
other
was.
side of the mall. Like
I had no
literally,
idea it existed. And then I was in trouble because then I could get quilt shop fabric on a Sunday.
ooh, that
Yeah.
would be trouble.
This is not good.
All right, well, I have to go because my
Years
little
late.
children are going to wake up and
So will mine.
eat me alive.
I am on solo duty tomorrow. I got all the kids all day.
That's okay. I didn't have any special guests, so I did well.
It's all good.
Everybody else
right.
did.
I didn't either.
You had Remy.
I did have Remy. That's true. I didn't have any small humans. Which I
No
consider
small
a win.
humans. Although you had a lot of dancing upstairs.
I did hear that for a while. Way too late. Maybe they'll sleep in.
Adam,
because of
come
that.
down and say hi.
I remember those days and I'm glad that it's not there anymore. But
Yeah.
in 21 and 23.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us for our first one.
And whoever
don't-
made it the whole way.
Yeah, I don't know
If
that
Ed-
we'll be this late every time, but if it's
No,
good
I think we're
conversation.
gonna keep regrouping about what this is or whatever,
Yeah.
but sometimes you just gotta start
Yeah.
and get
Aren't-
somewhere. So we've started. We'll probably organize it a little better in the beginning and then kind of let it dwindle to a situation like this. Because this is what we need to pretend that we are around people occasionally.
I
That's
know.
right.
Who
Thanks
was I
for
talking
inviting me.
to? I was like, I'm sorry, I'm just not around adults often because whatever
Yeah.
reaction I gave is the reaction you would give to a child that you're excited about. I'm like, oh, but
Yeah, I'm not around adults much these days
Yes.
either. I'm
It's
kind
just
of
us
okay with
calling
that
each other.
occasionally,
all the time.
but yeah, it helps.
All
Oh my
righty.
God, let's see your Swiss cheese one more time.
I mean, this is what we're working with, and I still have quite a few to cut out, which I am going to finish before I go to bed because I feel like I have to finish cutting at least before I
I know.
at night.
There's an opportunity right there.
I know, right? Look like the masked lady in Game of Thrones plot line.
Ooh. They did abandon that.
He did.
Hmm.
But anyway. Alrighty. Thank you for hanging with us.
Ciao, guys. Thanks.
We'll get we'll get
I'll
some
see if I
guests
can figure out
later.
how to leave.
Good
Oh,
night.
well, I will end the meeting for you all. So thank you.
Bye, Gwendolyn.
All right. Bye, everybody.